Good morning. Welcome to WarX. My name is Jason Dupree. We've got with me Miles Keller. This is the OCR report doing live coverage for WarX on site. Miles, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, good morning. How's it going, man? I'm excited. I can't wait to see this local race. It has some extremely unique and creative obstacles. It looks like a beautiful day out there. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I can see I just went out on course. I got 3 cameras up out of the 5 that I put out there, so I might have to run out there on course at some point and leave you for a minute and see if I can fix
Good
those.
luck running those hills.
Yeah, dude. So, well, we can get in that in a second. Let me make sure that I'm not missing anything. Let's see. I announced us. Oh, this is the 10K course, the OCR. This is a competitive wave. It's about 7 miles. They say 10K, but I ran it yesterday. It's about 7 miles, and it's about, what did I say, 1,800 feet of gain, 1,700, somewhere in there.
It was
It's a good bit.
1,700 feet again, slightly over 1,700 and 7.02 miles.
Yeah. And this afternoon, or this evening, really, is what they call the Battles Challenge or the Warriors Challenge, something like that. And it is not I don't think it's a competitive thing, but it's more of a like tactical. There's going to be some gun shooting along with obstacles and running. So we're going to cover that as well, just because it looks super interesting. I mean, this race out here is just one of the most unique that you see around nowadays. You know, like Indian Mud Run was around and they had a ton of crazy obstacles. And I think you just kind of see those starting to die out. So the stuff that we've got out here, take a look at this beauty.
That was the point I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up a little later. Ohio has quite the record of having some very unique obstacles. If you want to go to unique, I mean, through all these years of OCR, you're right. We have had Indian Mud Run. The King's Domain was where they had the first ever OCR World Championships, actually, for a couple of years in Medford, Ohio. You're there in Thurman, Ohio, Tay. So the southeastern part of Ohio, you're closer towards West Virginia than you are Pennsylvania. It looks absolutely beautiful. By the way, I'm not seeing the live feed. I don't know if everyone else at home can see it, but I don't see anything else but myself.
Oh, I can fix that. You just go ahead and keep on chatting while I fix it.
People don't want to see this. They want to see the obstacles.
No, they see.
Oh, they can see it?
They
Okay.
see the video. You just don't see it right now. Well, not that one.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, every single obstacle, not only does it look difficult, the whole race looks like it's just hills. Everything is on a hill, so at least you're not climbing any mountains, but still that many hills, 1,700 feet of gain, that's still a hard day. That's still a hard workout. At least the weather's really nice over there. It's not screaming hot like it is here in Texas. We'll see how that plays out.
Well, I don't know about that. It feels good this morning, nice breeze, but it is still all close breeze, and it won't be long before it's upper 80s. And yesterday when I ran, it was 89, which felt extremely hot.
Okay, yeah, that's a horse of another color. That will be that will definitely tax people. Then never mind. I can't wait to see. So on the women's side, it looks like some of the front runners. I'm excited to see how that does. We have a mutual friend. We have Vivian Tran there, who's absolutely having a fantastic season, who had a fantastic season last year. And, of course, they'll have I believe Aaliyah Imas, Kelly Sullivan, Jareen Klingberg, and the other lady's name, Lisa Warzanowski, I believe. Lisa, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. That is a hard last name. But we'll see. I'm not quite sure who showed up on the men's field today. There we go. I'm getting video now. But I'm just look at the scope of these obstacles. These are really well thought out and built obstacles. Really unlike anything we normally see. I can't wait to see all the rest of them. Were there any obstacles for you? What were the most difficult? Because you got to try out these obstacles, Jason. What were the most difficult ones?
Yeah, so when I ran the course yesterday, I just took pictures of the obstacles and I kind of, checked some of them out. So I did a couple of things, but I didn't go through the obstacle. Now, the one that we're looking at right now, and we're going to go in a minute, we're going to go through. We've got 18 minutes until the start of the race. before I'm going to get my rabbits going before we go through the obstacles, and we're going to start looking at the obstacle list. So I'll just say for the moment, I'll say this one right here. The rings, they're just nice and far apart. Hardest part is getting to that first one because you got to climb up those ropes to get there.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it has knots. It has knots in that rope. And if you've been doing OCR long enough, that shouldn't be too bad, especially if you have knots in the rope. If you don't have any knots in the rope, and you've obviously already crossed and maybe fell in the water, that rope then becomes exponentially more difficult to get to those first rings. But look at the length of this obstacle. I've noticed, they're very, very long. It's kind of like their slide. That's, I think, the most iconic picture of this race is we always see that giant the hill painted as the American flag. That slide right there. That's 350
the camera
feet.
shot. The camera shot is a little frozen. I'll go take care of that later. But yeah, it is a monster. And those hills don't look that steep, but when you start walking up and down on them, they are very steep.
Oh wow! It makes sense too, though, because you're right. From this angle, you can't quite tell how steep it is. But when you watch the video of people coming off that slide, I mean, they go flying. They get a lot of airtime, and you're not going to get that from a very slight incline, right? You're only going to get that from a greater grade of incline. So when they come sliding down, they just really come flying off. What a absolutely cool obstacle. That's 350 feet. I know sometimes they got guys with flamethrowers that shoot the flamethrowers over, right? How cool is that?
Right.
Did you go across this one we're looking at right now? Did you actually have to balance beam across there?
No, I just went up and checked out the rings. I just wanted to see kind of how they felt getting up on them, but I did not go across the pipes there. They don't look, they look like they're kind of floaty. So I imagine you probably might have to scoot across them as opposed to balance and run across them.
Yeah, I can't quite tell what kind of material that is from the video.
I think it's so there is a company called Advanced Drainage Systems, ADS, that is has donated a lot of the stuff to this race, and so all the pipes I imagine that you see have come from them. So it's like plastic, culvert type pipes.
Okay, yeah. Sure, everyone who's been doing OCR for a while knows what that's like to go through the culvert. They have a really interesting obstacle I saw earlier, a little video of that. It has rock climbing grips inside a large culvert that is at a great incline, right? Almost up, almost directly vertical. And so they have to use those rock climbing grips around it as they go up. I don't know if you got a chance to get eyes on that, but I think that looks more difficult than you would imagine. Now, granted, they look like the easy rock climbing grips, the green ones that have plenty of surface area. But if they're wet, they get mud from people's shoes. That's a game changer. And we'll see how they do. Now, Jason, is this indeed mandatory completion?
So that's an interesting thing here. It's not completely. Let me come back to you. Hang on just a moment.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so for some of you at home that might be watching that maybe aren't familiar with obstacle course races, we really have two different kinds of races in obstacle course races. There's ones in which if someone fails an obstacle, there's some sort of penalty loop or some other kind of penalty that you have to do if you fail an obstacle. And then there are other races where at least if you're competing in the pro wave or a competitive wave, you have to complete the obstacle or you don't pass or you don't proceed. You can try it as many times as you want, but at one point, if you simply can't get through it and you're not going to make it through eventually, your grip is burned out, you're too tired, you can give up your pro band and you are considered disqualified. But you can go finish the race and get your medal and your shirt and have a good time. But as far as getting on the podium or ranking on the pro level, you can't quite do that. So it'll be interesting to hear Jason's explanation of how this is a little bit of both. if there's any kind of deviation from either being mandatory completion or penalty loops, that's pretty uncommon in obstacle course racing. It'll be interesting to hear how they do that.
Okay, so from what I've heard, there's not enough. For one, there's not enough volunteers to have refs at every single obstacle. There's a lot of obstacles out here. So what they've got is there's 3 big obstacles, and I think I know which ones they are, but I can't say for certain. But there's 3 big obstacles that are mandatory. All the rest of them you have to attempt, but the mandatory ones each have a band, and each band is red, white, and blue. So if you get all 3 of those bands and make it to the finish, then you are, that's what it takes to be a completion winner.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
And you know what's interesting too? I thought this was like a brand new race that came out last year or the year before last year, but in actuality, I think this race has been around for 6 years. So these guys are not new to OCR. We're just now hearing more about them. It's becoming like a local favorite, and people are flying in from other countries. Excuse me, not other countries. Well, actually, maybe other countries. I don't know that for sure, but I know they're coming in from other states. A lot of the pro elite athletes are coming to come take on this course. Now, do we know why they call it the trilogy? I know I was trying to stalk them on YouTube and Instagram and get to learn more about them, but I noticed they've changed some of the verbiage over the years.
Yes, the trilogy is the fact that they have a 10K OCR, then they have the Battle or Warriors Challenge in the evening, and then tomorrow morning there is a 5K, more like just a fun trail run. It's not competitive, just to have a good time.
Okay, nice. And we're going to be covering that battle, the battleground.
Yes, we are going to cover that this evening, but we're not going to cover the 5K tomorrow morning because it's a simple,
just a trail run,
just a little trail run for fun. I'll be out running that as well.
You are living your best life. I want to thank you for putting on this and bringing us OCR live coverage. Once again, if you guys are just joining us, the OCR Report, that was a Patreon. Come join it so you can help promote these live feeds and promote OCR so we can bring you better footage, more coverage, and be able to fly out to all these races.
I know, man, the more people we get on Patreon, the more we can actually hire rabbits, hire commentators, and fly people on site to just make the broadcast that much better. All right, let's dig into the obstacles. Oh, shoot. I actually have to set this up before I do this. You keep on chatting. I'm going to set up the pictures.
Yeah, those resources really allow us to be able to continue to bring you better and better coverage. For special races, especially like this, you always hear of the National Series and things like the Point Series and say it's Savage Race or Spartan Race or one of the big boys. But this is kind of there's a bunch of other races in America that are once a year that are really creative, really neat stuff that you want to go fly out and go see. We want to cover those and we want to bring them to you. So at the very least, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you comment down below. You can make fun of me all you want. Have at it. You have to start watching. If you're watching this live, you're watching this face early on in the morning, and I feel bad for you.
Yeah, we have said. Sorry, we have said that we're. I think I mentioned this already. Maybe I don't know. But we have said that we're going to try and do more post live shows. Not as much live, just because of the struggles that come along with live shows. But this one, we kind of had it planned ahead of time, and they actually went out on course and scoped it out. Now, I'm sure we're going to run into issues. There's going to be signal drops and all that stuff. And I know when they go out into the woods, you don't get any signal. But there's a big portion where some of the big obstacles are that we do know that they have signal, and we'll, see how it goes. And it's not a big Spartan National Series race or anything, so we'll just kind of go with it and see how it goes. Got our rabbits looking like they're ready. All right, what you got before we jump into the obstacles?
No, that's okay. I'd rather drive right into it. I'm just still staring at this rig and noticing that the beginning of this rig, it seems like it's just rope to rope to rope, which seems like a very simple concept, but a lot of people fail it. That's a much more difficult
ring to ring
setup.
Yeah.
No, not ring to ring to ring. At the very beginning, it looks like before you cross over in the balance beam there, it looks like it's ropes, just hanging ropes.
Oh, on the
in
other
background.
side? No,
Yes.
the other side is rings as well. So you got same setup on both sides.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I apologize.
Let's dig into these. All right, there's a lot of obstacles that just don't have any names, and so we're just going to go through all of them. I've taken 60 pictures, so it's not exactly 60 obstacles because I took a few different ones.
Yeah.
There's probably about 50 obstacles in total. So this is the first one. Squeeze through, something like squeeze play, you know.
Okay, yeah, like Savage Race. Okay, so you don't go over that last one. You squeeze through it.
Yeah. Yes, that's my guess.
Okay, I saw a video one time of someone on YouTube going over it. So I thought maybe that was the obstacle, but no, you do.
That,
okay, just like squeeze play from
that would
Savage
be
Race.
extra tricky. That would be extra tricky to go
Yeah.
over. All right, here we've got some like septic tanks that got to jump over.
That's kind of scary, right? Anything septic related. It's not so much difficult as that is scary. When you said septic tank, did everyone at home
That's what it looks like, right?
visceral reaction?
Isn't that what it looks like to you? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it does. Like it kind of gives me a visceral reaction though, just hearing those words, septic tank, and having to go over. Right? There's something inherently inside that's like. Ugh.
All right, big old, pretty like 4 foot tall, maybe pretty high culvert. Now, once you get into the woods, here's some random pipes that you got to kind of go up and over and just through around.
Tell you what, though, when those get wet, that's actually very difficult. It looks like an Irish table. Remember, OCR World Championships has one called, that looks like that last one you showed, called Sternum Checker, where you had to go up and over, and it was logs, though. It was logs, it wasn't pipes, but those pipes can be slippery. That could be a lot more difficult than it looks. Surely you're sweaty. By the time you get to this obstacle right here, that I like to call Sternum Checker because it looks exactly like it, if you're really, really sweaty, your body's going to easily roll right off it. So that's...
Well, thankfully, they're low. They're like hip height.
Oh, are they? Okay, I'm sorry. On the picture, it looks way higher. It looks like chest.
That's the wide angle lens. Yeah. All right. I can hear them kind of getting ready, so we're going to kind of go through these kind of quickly. Here's the rope climb. Big old net going up a hill. You're going to see a lot of these. Here's some rope going down a hill. Very steep spot. A low rig.
Ooh.
Low rig with red, white, and blue.
Now, are you just using those? Oh no, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all right. We got hanging ropes and those little T-bars.
Okay, you don't touch the blue bars at all, then, correct? That's not part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry can carry.
Ammo box carry. Yep. And here is so while you're carrying the ammo cans, you've got this to go through at some point. So like a trench barbed wire crawl. This is just a shot just kind of showing some of the landscape that you see out here. Very pretty.
Yeah, beautiful.
Here, let me get that music turned off for the moment. All right. This is a cool one. Kind of like Savage's, the original, oh, dang it.
Yeah, where you
like
you have to traverse it. Yeah.
Yeah, tree hugger.
It's same thing as tree hugger from Savage Race, but these look more difficult because they look wider.
And they're catacornered. I take it you can grab the top, which makes it a little easier, but still tricky. All right. This is the Decadon, I think. Dodecadon?
Yeah, it's a Decadon.
You get on this thing. Yeah, you step on those pegs and push it forward, and you got to go about a quarter turn.
Man, that is cool. That's a unique obstacle. That alone might be kind of a reason to come out there and go try it. That's really well thought out.
Right. All right, we're going to roll through these. Here's that Maximus, I believe it's called. And then you go into a tube. It looks like you go in, like the tube is under the water, but you can just come out in the water, swim across, and go into the next tube.
Do you have to go under? You don't have to go completely submerge yourself in the water at the bottom of that culvert?
Yes. Yep.
You do. Okay, so it is forced immersion. That could be really scary for a lot of people.
Yep. This thing is an uphill pipe that is quite long, and they've got it blocked off on the end so that it's dark too.
Oh wow!
Another
Okay.
One of those kind of scary fear ones. That's where it comes out.
Oh
Quite a
wow!
ways up the hill. Here's a like inverted wall. Little ninja run across the water. Good long ways there. And here we've got just another culvert to go over. Here we're gonna put the.
Is that barbed wire?
I don't know how much our signal's gonna come through. Yeah, barbed wire. Quite a long barbed wire crawl, and at the end of it, you come out, and then you can see where the grass has grown up, and there's actually more barbed wire. Like they made it like very, very long. And then you go out of the grass for about 20 yards, and then you go back in it again.
Oh, and then you go right back in it.
Yep. Right, we're gonna put this.
Now this obstacle right here looks like Dragon's Breath.
Yep, Dragon's
Remember
back. And then check this out. So here's the if you fall in, if you miss, that's what you're falling into.
That's why people don't want to miss that.
And then when you get done, you got to run across these things to get across the water.
How are those? Did you run across that? No, this obstacle, the one that I call Dragon's Breath. I'm not sure what they call it there at WarX. Yeah. It really scares. It scares a lot of people. I've never understood why it instills so much fear in people, but they have people get up to the top there and they just freeze.
Yeah,
I've never understood that, but it is terrifying athletes.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that it freezes people up. All right, this one here, you climb up, and then there you've got like these truss that you got to traverse across. Goes over some water right there.
Okay.
The big old slide from the top.
350 feet.
Top there. Man, I was really hoping my camera angle from the bottom was going to stay clean, but it doesn't look like it is. I might have to go reposition it at the top of the hill.
No problem. Looks like they're reading over the rules with the men.
Yep. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that. Did you hear that?
No, the gunshot?
Yeah. So that's one of the things about this race is not only are you out here running, but there's live fire and cannons and bombs and all kinds of stuff going off in the background. Oh, that was a close one. That's amazing.
We'll see if you don't make it to the end of this live cast. I'll keep going, Jason. We'll remember you.
Yeah.
We'll briefly remember you and then keep on going. How about that?
All right. 10 different trenches. Yeah.
Wow.
This, cell signal giving us problems already. All right. This is called the Eliminator. It's like a rig with multiple. Oh, the guys are already gone. We're gonna. I think they're all going together, so we're just gonna put a timer up there. Kind of get an eye where they're at in a little bit. Let's see, we've got this camera angle. Yeah, the cameras are definitely struggling.
I can't quite tell. This is a really long rig, and it looks like it kind of traverses, like you have to go uphill. I wonder if you go down through it, going down or up. That could significantly change the difficulty of that rig.
Yeah, it is uphill, and there's multiple parts to it. Definitely makes it tricky.
And I see that beginning section right there we're talking about, where it's just rope to rope to rope. That gets a lot of people. That's difficult, let alone on itself, other than having multiple other sections after the rope to rope to rope.
Right.
Looks like they're close enough
you
together.
You got this like circus thing.
Those remind me of at the fair. You know, they have the
yeah,
game at the
exactly.
fair where you have to, if you can reach from the beginning of this to the end and hit the buzzer.
Right, right. And then you got this pretty cool, kind of like twister type thing. It
Wow, that looks
rotates.
cool.
Yeah. A couple poles to traverse across. Everybody running up those hills.
Stay right here. Can you turn there?
Some more pole traverse. Man, we're only at picture 36 here.
They're gonna turn here. It looks like
This guy's got.
go between them.
We got some pipe barrels that'll jump over, and then you've got a little low rig with a pipe slider at the top of it. At the end of it. And if you're sweaty, this is going to be tough.
You really have to lock your hands together.
Yep.
And you're definitely sweaty
Quite a
at this
big
point.
pipe to jump over, right there. Bucket carry.
Yeah.
Ninja steps.
Cut in there. That's good. I don't know.
Slosh pipe carry, dude. This slosh pipe carry is so long.
I'm gonna come right back here again.
Got some pretty good hills to it.
Yeah, how heavy are those slosh pipes?
I didn't pick one up, but
okay.
Sure. Look at this. Here, I'm gonna hide that pip real quick. This is a straight down
wow
cargo net.
Yeah, that's quite the drop.
There, that's what you come down right there, and then you get into this ravine, and you follow the river or the creek. Here they come. Here, let's go.
We'll see everyone out on the course.
Oh, they are going over. You were right.
You're ready to take off.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought people had to do. Okay, and those pipes don't look as wide as they did in the picture, so maybe that is not as difficult as we thought.
Yeah.
Let's sneak peek over the supplies there. Try and get an idea who's in the lead here. Pretty cool. Looks like the men and women go off at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think so. I need to change my timer. Another net to climb up. There's some more obstacles. More here. Let's save some of these obstacles for when we get. When the guys get back in, when the people get back into the woods, and we don't have any picture, we'll go back to the obstacles.
You know what's funny about this coverage right here, Jason? You remember you and me covering the second race in the Mexican National Series for Spartan last weekend, and I made the joke that it's hard to know who's who because it's all white guys with their shirt off and black shorts. And here we are again, white guys with their shirts off and black shorts.
Right.
There are some local favorites, though. They're in Ohio. We'd probably be able to tell. I know one of our friends, Logan Broadbent. He lives over in that area, and so I would expect to see him at a race like this for fun. There we go. And once again, guys, a lot of these races are out there in the middle of nowhere, so way out in the country. So you don't get good cell coverage, so some of the footage might be choppy.
Yeah, and again, we wanted to, we got another show tonight, so it's kind of tricky to turn around a post live show. So here, let's just go back to the obstacles while we're waiting. They're going to go into the woods for a bit.
Yeah, how does this one work?
Right. So you go into the pipe, and there's a whole bunch of different pipes inside of there that you got to squeeze around.
Oh wow! Yeah. For some people, that might be really difficult.
All right, it's tight squeeze there. Another tall cargo net you got to climb up. And then another one.
Yeah, I like that you're getting different angles of these pictures because some of them don't do the incline justice on those net climbs.
Well, that was two different ones. That's the thing.
Oh, is that two different ones? Okay, there's a lot of net climb.
Multiple in a row. Yeah. Here's a zip line over some water.
Oh, that looks fun.
Hang on to the ring. Oh, here we go. Hang on. We've got a shot of. Wait. That phone is not. I gotta fix my hotkey. Yeah, it was just clean for just a second. It's Vivian Tran right there. Probably out front for the women.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's in the lead right now for the women.
This signal's definitely struggling more than
I
hoped.
I'm biased, but she's my favorite to win for the women today. She puts in I talk to her regularly, and she puts in a tremendous amount of work on a daily basis. On top of being a very busy professional, she works extremely hard, but she's got tough competition because she's going against some other OCR elite athletes have been doing it for a long time, like Kelly Sullivan and Aliyah Imas. They've both been racing for many, many years. Great athletes in their own right. I can't wait to see how that goes. I've only ever heard of Jareen Klingberg. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Here's a rope climb up out of this the creek bed. Here's just another shot of the landscape that you're running up and down. Last few obstacles here, up and over. Up this pipe. It's got a rope in it and some rock holds on the inside, like so. And then a zip line down to the bottom to the finish. Pretty cool.
That's a cool way to finish the race, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I actually like that better than a fire jump. I think it's pretty neat.
All right, let's see what we got going on. All right. I'm going to be running out and fixing some cameras in a moment here. Let's see. Let me fix this.
Sounds good. I'll just keep going.
Graphic. Yeah.
Maybe we can switch to someone that's chasing the chasing some athletes.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would be a little more clean, but we're not really getting what we were hoping for. I need to make some changes to their settings too, I think.
Yeah. But thank you to anyone who might be just tuning in. This is WarX. This is a really cool local race in Ohio. Oh, there we go. We got a cool another shot there of the decagon. You'll see that there's holds on the front face of that decagon, so they'll get on it, and it's like a wall, and they're going to have to roll the decagon to a certain point by, distributing your weight on the next hold. So it's probably more difficult than it looks. But that's very unique. I haven't seen it in OCR myself. There's many variations of this, of some sort of wall that either does a Z pattern around or a inverted wall that has the rock climbing grips that you traverse from one side to the other. But I've never seen one that rolls like that. And then actually it's your momentum grabbing and distributing your weight that makes this entire thing move. So extremely creative in here. That'll be really cool to see. Now, I'm not sure how far into the race that decagon obstacle is.
Yeah, I was going to look that up in just a moment.
You can kind of tell just from these pictures and the video that we're seeing that this whole race is just nonstop hills. So if you live in a flat area like we do here in North Texas, this could be very challenging. And you don't have to use that good arm swing to help drive your legs up and try and let some of that momentum do some of the work instead of just all your heart doing all the work and the pumping. You would need it. So we're talking 1,700 feet of gain even though it's all hills, 1,700 feet of elevation gain. That's a lot. That's a lot to have to do. And then also being about 7.02 miles for. So they say 10K, but actually it's more like 7 miles. But of course, in OCR, we're very used to that. The races are never exactly 5K, 10K, 30K. It's always a little more. Oh, here we go. It looks like we're getting video footage of people starting the low rig. Oh, okay. Well, that's not that bad at all. I've never seen a low rig
it's not too bad
in which people can put their legs on something. So generally,
on that bar across the side. Yeah, that is kind of wild.
I mean, that takes out a lot of the difficulty. I would vote for them to remove that bar.
That's right.
There we go.
I actually did that one yesterday without the bar.
You did it with it. Yeah, I've never heard of one where you have a bar you can put your leg on. I wonder if that was even
Yeah.
against the rules. I didn't hear the rules at the beginning, so we could be wrong. But of course, you have a much higher pass rate if that's the case. And there's many more difficult obstacles awaiting you after this. This is still really early on in the race. Can't quite. The footage is a little choppy, so we can't quite identify who the top males are.
Yeah, I'm making a change to the resolution to the cameras so that we can hopefully get better, more consistent shots here. I'm gonna have to
But
text
many of
them
the
and let
guys
them
are still
know.
together. Not there hasn't been a huge separation. I know after this obstacle, it looks like they come up to a water station. So I see a few guys going getting water after this obstacle. Yeah, I mean, I'd also imagine that little bar right there is going to give people a chance to catch their breath. Like, hey, everyone got off the start line real hot. They're going fast, so they would love the chance to catch their breath. And right here in that low rig, they'll have that opportunity. If you can kind of just
My
control your
rabbits,
breathing.
the rabbits should be able to hear me. If they could, guys, restart your app. Go back to restart it so that you get some new settings. Oh, we see a athlete actually fell. What is this with the hooks? Is this like a different option to do the
Hmm.
low rig?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with those. I don't know what's up with those hooks. I love this gentleman's outfit though. Look at that. It's
Yeah, he was giving it a
American
shot.
as can
Yeah,
be.
that's right.
Reminds me of like the High Rocks World Championships. The American team was dressed almost like exactly like that. all the other all the other countries
That's
had
right.
these like very small flag of their country right here. Here we come, America, like normal, big American
Yeah.
flag shorts.
You can see Rabbit trekking it through the woods, giving you some sight on the trail itself. I think they're waiting for the athletes to come up out of the woods here.
Yep, look like they got a little water station. They even have a porta potty out there. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen a porta
And
potty
again,
on the course.
again, Rabbits, if you can hear me, if you haven't done so already, restart the app so that you go back to where the settings, the ID is, so that the settings get updated. I think we're getting a little bit better picture here. Hopefully, as I say that, it chops up, but getting some water.
So I don't think these gentlemen we're watching here. They're probably not in the lead. These are some guys that started there in the competitive wave, and they're probably mid
Yeah,
pack, a little further back.
and we've got a camera back in the woods, so I take it she's waiting for the front runners to
The
come
lead
through.
guys to come through. Yeah.
And Charity, if you can hear me, the signal is choppy right there, so back up towards the entrance of the trail there.
Yeah, beautiful foliage though. Not just the hills, but the trees and everything. Is one thing we love about OCR, right? It's so many of us nowadays that we go to work and you may sit in an office in front of a computer all day long, or you go and you work somewhere where you don't get to get outside at all. You're definitely not in the woods. And so it's nice to kind of just break up that monotony of the week and get out and be running through the trails and enjoy the nature. No music, no nothing, just hey, obstacles, the sound of nature, and a nice run outside, especially in beautiful weather like this.
We got Vivian Tran out in the lead through the low rig. Let's see. We gotta get some map going here so we can see how far in they are.
Look at that look on Vivian's face, man. She is hard focused. She's got real good control of her pace right there. Good running form. You can see she's not going all out. She's probably coming up that hill, but she's still charging the hill with a very manageable pace. That's not too slow. It's not too fast. That's just right. She's really got to know where her body is at.
And let's see. Oh,
That must be a hell of a hill because I've never seen Vivian stop for water. That is gotta be. That must be. That must be. She must have already climbed quite a bit. Look at it. She's right back into it.
And it's already
She's also
82
probably
degrees.
aware.
Feels like 93. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, you're right. It's heating up fast. Yeah, she's probably well aware. She's got time. It doesn't look like there's any women behind her.
Yeah.
So we don't know what other women are in contention. So far, we've only seen Vivian. She's obviously in the lead for the ladies. That doesn't mean she's going to let up off the gas. I don't know that gentleman right there. It might be a local athlete. Oh, here comes. So this is another really cool thing. They actually have guns mounted on the top of those ATVs, and they will chase you with them, and they fire the guns. Like you were mentioning earlier, this is this is a really fun part of this race. They got flamethrowers, they got live ammo, they have and you feel like it's meant to feel like you're in war,
In
and you're
battle,
going through
yeah.
the trenches, you're running for your life. Yeah, you can hear him shooting there. There goes TJ. There goes another local favorite, TJ. That's Vivian's boyfriend right there. He's good on him. He has a huge smile on his face. He
Looking
looks
good.
fantastic. He's overcoming a huge
There's
injury.
Hubie.
Yeah, there's Hubie. So good to see him. That was correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the owner of Indian Mud Run, another local.
Yep.
It was an annual race there in Ohio that many people from all over would fly out to come do his race.
That's right.
And I think last year was the last year for that race. He stopped doing it, but that is just
Yes,
an
you are
absolute
correct.
a legendary race. Many people would come for that.
Yeah, it had like 60 plus obstacles. That was insane.
Yeah, and Hubie, he's a fantastic masters athlete too in his own right. We talk about Indian Mud Run when we talk about him, but he's actually I think he won his age group at OCR World Championships. He's a fantastic athlete.
One. Whatever, it's fine. We're all taking this.
All right. I'm going to.
And I know it sounds silly, but I think having that porta potty out there is really nice for the ladies on the course. If they want to stop and go back, for the guys, we can run into the woods. It doesn't matter. Right. Nobody cares. For the ladies, they can't quite. They can't drop trout like we can, right? So, kind of nice to have that porta potty out there for them.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when the open waivers start coming through later.
Okay.
Oh, I got the sun coming in on me. You can see the live ammo going off. What a fun race! It's just really well put on. That's expensive, man. To blow through all that ammo and the flamethrowers and all that. They put a lot of money into this.
Trying to find. I'm looking in the map, trying to get a gauge on where things are, where I can go to make sure we get a camera fixed, ready to go for the next part, like what they're going to come up to. But I mean, the map, the course goes all over this piece of property, so it's kind of wild.
And it looks like an absolutely huge piece of property.
I hope that. I didn't think that they would be coming up to this so soon. I thought this was later in the course.
You want to drop us here?
Yeah, I thought it was later in the course too. Yeah, that looks.
Shan, if you can hear me, if you guys haven't restarted the app so that you go back to the re-input the settings, we're going to try to make sure that you guys have.
This looks more difficult here. They're going to traverse from one end of those pipes to the other. All right, here starts coming up some athletes.
Yeah.
This obstacle looks much more difficult than I think the video does it justice, because each of those culverts that are sitting up vertical are spaced further apart than, say, the trees were in Tree Hugger for Savage Race when they had the same obstacle.
There we go.
We got some people come through, looks like.
Yep, here we go. First male.
Yeah, again, I don't know if you can use the top. I used the top and tried it that way, and it was fairly easy. But
Much more doable. That gentleman is not grabbing the top. I think maybe you're not
yeah,
allowed
I don't know
there
if
to.
he
you can or
goes.
not.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
He's asking if
it,
you can. He
I
was maybe
yeah,
unaware that you could.
and I think if they didn't say, you can do it, especially at a race like this. You know, there they go.
Yeah, there you go. He just wasn't. He didn't know you could do that. All right, and they're off.
Follow him,
Yeah,
baby.
you probably just need to just assume you can do it.
Now that young man right there, we've known in OCR for a while. I am drawing a blank on his name, but he is definitely the future of the sport. He's been doing this for a while now, for a few years. It's been nice watching him come up. I'm just
We're
drawing a
getting
blank on his
just
name.
a choppy still shot, but you can see here's the ammo carry. Go back to these guys.
Good on this guy. He's not walking this hill. This hill is probably much more steep than it looks. Look at that.
It
That is
is.
a very long hill.
And you can see at the top, towards the top, where it gets even steeper too. Look at these guys.
Close this line so I don't
powering
just
up it.
light
Wow.
on me. There we go. Light shining in on me.
You know, looking at their obstacle names on the map, it's kind of hard to tell where they are. Devil's Tailpipe.
Now
They
he's
just
walking.
went through.
That is a long hill.
Yeah,
There he goes.
that was
He's
Devil's
getting back
Tailpipe.
into it. They call it Devil's Tailpipe?
Devil's
That's a
Tailpipe.
good one.
All right, looks like they're coming up to Decagon. Decagon, yep. Which we do have a shot on.
Let's see how this goes. I'm really interested to see. Wow, okay. That moved a lot faster for that gentleman than he was expecting.
And he might be used to it. It is a tricky thing because, so I tried it yesterday, and once you get it going, it's not round, so you fall hard into that next, flat part, and then you got to get that momentum again if you don't keep it going. If you can keep it going without falling off, it's all good. But you can see how he's now kind of stuck. He's got to get his momentum going again.
Yeah, I wonder how far they have to.
Like I said, I think it's about a quarter turn. Like
okay,
rolls,
a quarter turn? That's not too bad.
Not a quarter turn on the thing, but a quarter around its center point that it rolls around.
There you go. The young man we were speaking about earlier. Got that done fast. This is kind of where being spatially aware with your body and knowing where to distribute the weight can make a huge difference, right? So this is, again, not only having that, but also having the grip to be able to withstand that bounce when it hits the next side, like you were talking about.
See if you can step with it, you can keep that momentum moving, and then you just got to watch your hands. You know, it's just tricky. You know, a lot of hand-eye coordination you got to take care of.
You made it. That is a really cool obstacle, man. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not only do these obstacles look really creative and unique, they look fun. And that's ultimately why we're out there, right?
Yep. Yeah. Trying new stuff. Oh, hang on.
No, you gotta go across.
Got somebody on the rig.
There we go.
Halfway, you fall
That's coming across the rig. No, I want to see how he traverses across. If he scoots across, he's just gonna he's gonna jump in. He's gonna jump in and take the swing. Okay, so the traversal, the balance beam is not mandatory. You can just swim across it. I don't blame him. That's actually probably faster. Nice setup of the camera right there, Jason. I like that. We're getting all up close with athletes right there.
Oops. Had one just come off.
Oh, another cool angle. There we go, the other side of it.
We've actually got Vivian. This is going to be a choppy shot, but we got Vivian taking that jerry can through the trenches there.
Oh, yeah,
And
that looks very difficult. I mean, having the rolling hills, the trenches, that's a normal obstacle course racing obstacle we see in most every race, right? It's kind of a staple, kind of like monkey bars or a rope climb. But having to take an ammo can through it,
yeah,
that's a horse of another color. And it is pretty choppy.
It in her hand.
It appears to see Vivian just walking, but she's not walking through it.
Yeah. I don't even see her carrying the can. It's kind of tough to see. Here they go into the water.
Yeah, we were mentioning earlier, you can't tell at that angle you're watching right now, but yeah, it submerges in the water. And for some people, especially if you're even slightly claustrophobic, that'd be a scary component. And then not only that, you come out, as you see, and they have to go back underneath the water to go back up the other culvert to come out the other side of the little river crossing.
And he's going to get up this hill and go into the pipe up the hill. Shan, if you can hear me, wipe your camera down if you don't mind.
Hop out. Go on the other side.
Yeah, here we go. And here's that very long culvert climb that we're talking about earlier. That's completely dark. Once again, man, if you're claustrophobic, that's kind of neat. They've thrown these mental obstacles into this race all over. There's hey, you could be an extremely fast and strong athlete and be able to fly through obstacles, have amazing grip strength, but then you're claustrophobic and you're just scared to stand still, right? And you have to face those fears, and that's really cool that they've implemented that. That it's not just a physically demanding aspect of this race. That you can actually just overcome your fears. But you're absolutely right. It looks like a very long culvert climb up there. Not to mention, you just came through the water, so you're wet. And getting through those culverts when you're wet in that plastic.
There you go. Good shot.
You see that this angle right there kind of gives you the idea of just how long that is. And look how muddy it is. That's not necessarily very easy to get through. It's barely ribbed on the inside, so there's not a lot of grip.
Yeah, just that rope to pull yourself up, but not a huge.
Oh, there is the rope there. Yeah, I see the rope now.
Yep.
I remember early on. Do you remember when Savage Race had the culvert pipe, the teeter-totter, and it was it didn't have a rope or anything, and it's barely ribbed on the inside, and you're wet, and so you had to get up to the top until it tilts down, and you'd slide out. That was really difficult there for a while.
It really defeated some of the taller guys that had a hard time being able to press themselves into the pipe because they couldn't get their knee to hip ratio was too long to be able to really press up against it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a tall guy either, and I had to redo that obstacle one time, I believe. Here we go. We got our rabbit catching up to the next obstacle here.
Stop. That's good.
Here we go. Inverted wall.
While they're up on this hill and things are looking clean, I'm going to run out and go try and fix the camera on the eliminator so we can hopefully get that shot.
Sounds good.
It's not too far away. Yeah, it'll take me
talking.
A few minutes, but I'll be back.
Sounds good. Yeah, so I apologize that we don't know who these gentlemen are. They're probably local favorites. And we see them. Man, what a beautiful day to have a race.
I'll get up.
And we want to continue to support obstacle course racing in its entirety. Get out. This costs a lot of money to put on these races. Get out, fly out, go try some of these newer races. It doesn't have the big brands like Spartan and Tough Mudder. Those are great too. Don't get me wrong. I love the big brands as well. But this is really, really unique. give a chance to help support this community, help them be able to continue to put on these races. Get out of your comfort zone, get out there. Okay, that was pretty neat. We originally called that like a ninja double steps, where you're going back and forth in between. But as you can see, there's multiple ways to traverse that obstacle. Both of those young men taking a different technique, and obviously the younger gentleman that was on the other side, he just got through it faster by staying on one side and with that other technique. It's kind of what's cool about obstacle course racing. There's different ways of tackling the obstacles. Someone can outrun you, but you can make up that time if you're better on obstacles. Even though I'd argue, I think with most races, it really comes down to the run. Everyone's been doing obstacle course racing for so long now. Most people have that obstacle proficiency to where you don't have as many people failing obstacles. And not to mention, there's ninja gyms now. There's OCR gyms. You can get out and go practice these before they show up at the race. If you're ever curious as to, hey, you want to get into this, you want to train for some of these to be more race specific, hey, get out and go do some nice, easy trail runs. Go out to a local park. Start getting that, do an exercise of some sort before you go into running. Run a little bit, stop and do an exercise, and then get right back into the running. So it's so much of obstacle course racing is just compromised running, as you can see what they're doing here. Here's a big pack of athletes. Here we go. Yeah, there's going to be many people on the course by this point. There we go. Way to go, guys. Look at them. They're having a great time. All smiles. Maybe some open waivers. So how it works in obstacle course racing is that first wave of the day is usually the pro or the competitive wave. And then you have multiple other waves of people that just want to do the race for fun and are not competing for a place. And we call that the open waves.
Right.
Here we go. We got some cool footage. Man, look at these hills. It is indeed just nonstop hills all the way around. Beautiful property.
Get over there? No. I think you can. Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. We're coming up to this. Oh, they're passing it. They're not at that obstacle yet.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Let's go.
All right. So they're coming up to this obstacle where there's a bit of a slight. You got to go up some bars, but then at the top you have this traversal across. What are those called? Trusts. For any of us who've been doing OCR and you've always wanted to go across, usually most of the rigs are built with those same exact trusts on the top of a rig, and I've always wanted to go across them, but it's always against the rules. You got to use the implements, right? It's actually kind of a fun obstacle for those of us who've been doing OCR for a long time and always wanted to go across, traverse across the trust. So there you go. But this is basically just like monkey bars to these guys. As you can see, that's how these gentlemen are attacking it. That shows you kind of how steep that hill is. That young gentleman right there is power hiking. He's got his hands on his knees. It's a good way to kind of keep moving and not stop and still be able to take some of that pressure off your legs by putting your hands on each knee as you come up. They call that power hiking. Here we got another water station up at the top here.
I'll walk down. Charity, you want to get footage of photo?
Here we go. Yeah, so we're about 35 minutes into this race. Still plenty more to go. Oh, look at that view. Our rabbit is standing next to that slide. Here we go. Here's a 350-foot slide that looks like an absolute blast. And that's kind of a cool angle. The camera, you can see how much of an incline that is. And watch how much air he gets off the end of this ramp. Oh, couldn't quite tell. It's too far off. But it's quite the slide. I've got to come try this. I've watched a whole bunch of video of people just going flying right off the end. There you go. Oh, he's going full bore, head first. Oh, that looks like fun. I've got to come try to do this race. I've got to fly out to Ohio. Look at that. That kind of gives you an idea of how much speed he got. And then every once in a while, I've seen a video where you've got guys that work for WarX that have flamethrowers, and they're shooting the flamethrowers overhead as you go down the slide. There you go. And right after the slide, then you have a
couple
wall
more
of rope
come down in the
up
car, okay?
to a net. We have Vivian traversing on one of the other cameras. You can't see here. See Vivian traversing one of the hills. Still in the lead for the women. So this obstacle is pretty straightforward. This is just using the rope. Easiest way, it looks difficult, but the easiest way to do it is grabbing that rope, standing up and leaning back, and then just pulling yourself up to the top. A lot of people will try and force arm it where they're on their knees and they're trying to just use the rope to climb up, and that will just wear you out really fast. Trying to bring you a little closer footage here, but it looks like the connection issue is still getting us as it comes down this cargo net. That's a pretty straightforward obstacle. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is Southeast Ohio, local race called WarX. We'll have, this is actually, they call it the WarX Trilogy Series because there's 3 different races. We'll be bringing you the second one later on today, I believe around 6 p.m. Is the second part of the race, called the battle race. And then tomorrow will be just a trail run, basically, the third part, which we won't be bringing to you because it's a trail run. Is not as fun to watch, right? But these athletes are out here all weekend long and have a good time.
Well,
oh, there we go. We got our producer back. He lived. He got through the gunfire.
I adjusted some cameras, but it doesn't seem like it did any good, unfortunately.
That's okay. We got pretty decent footage watching the gentleman go across some of the obstacles. The footage was good.
Nice. So
now we see Vivian's coming up to Decagon.
Yeah, Candace, if you can hear me, if you can restart here's the guys. This is Logan Broadbent. I thought it looked like
Logan Broadbent. Okay, I thought he'd show up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he'd be there.
I was surprised we didn't see him.
As I was running through, coming back from fixing cameras, I saw him go down off the slide and pop out and said, "Hey, to him."
Now this is Vivian. This is Vivian's first time ever doing this race, and I was talking to her yesterday about it, and she was really nervous about this obstacle because she didn't know what to expect. You know, we've never been on anything like it, but she looks like she's handling it just fine.
Yeah, she's figuring it out pretty quickly.
Yeah,
it's not as efficient as if you had done it a few times, but
she made it.
She got
no problem, easy breezy.
Yep.
Right back into the run.
Oh, come on.
She's gonna grab another sip of water. I've never seen Vivian do that. She just knows there's no other ladies too close to her, so she's okay with just getting a sip of water and rolling.
Yeah.
Once again, those hills, no joke. They're long. They're long, and there's a lot of them.
So we got this camera here. I was really thinking it would be a clean feed for this one, but that gentleman is in first place, and there's Logan on the back side. Just on the first section.
Here we go. Such a cool obstacle, and how much more difficult is that because it's at an incline. Any long rig like that's on a hill will normally you'll be going down in most races, but they've really ramped up the difficulty when you have to traverse up the hill.
Yeah, and
that little caving ladder that looks really simple, but there's no stability. Don't think that looks simple, but it is not simple at all. There is no stability to that.
So you can see that he just flipped over and then just went, on the other underside. Ooh.
And of course, Logan Broadbent, local favorite there. He's an Olympic boomerang athlete. He's competed in the Savage and Spartan National Series. He's a well-known American ninja. So these obstacles are going to not be. They shouldn't pose much of a problem to Logan Broadbent. I got to
Now
catch up
Vivian
with
has
him.
swung out twice now. I'm not sure if she's trying to reach it off of a first swing instead of climbing up a little bit. I think you kind of need to get a little higher to be able to get the reach.
Yeah, I mean, she's not terribly tall. None of these ladies are terribly tall, so getting that reach out there could be really hard. There she goes.
There she goes.
As long as she made it to that first one, she'll be fine. She remembered to pull back from the rope instead of just leaping right out to that ring. She has the momentum. There she goes. Let's see if anyone else tries the traverse across the balance beam where they just don't hit the water. Oh, we have that other camera angle.
Yeah, it's choppy too, but we got across the barrels. Here we're going to go back to Vivian, see what she does here. It does look like people are trying to walk across it.
Yeah, I mean, if that's not mandatory and it's not illegal to do, I think the fastest way across that is definitely swimming. By the time those gentlemen and Vivian are halfway across, you could have swam across.
So we had somebody in the comments mention that Indian Mud Run was 2 years ago. That's how long it's been. It's just wild.
Yeah, thank you for the correction.
Wild that it feels like it was only last year. Yeah, and we do apologize for the lag. We did some testing out here and thought we would have a little better signal, but this is what we got. So appreciate you watching. I know it's not as good as it could be, but we're still having fun out here. Hope you're enjoying the race as best you can. That was Megan Beck said that the Indian Mud Run was 2 years ago. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, look at that. There we go. And look, that might be the second place female. I can't quite tell who that is from this angle. Maybe Lisa Warzanowski.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some notice from this shot here. It's like the cleanest feed we got all day.
Wow, look at that gentleman in the middle lane. He ran across the balance beam. Wow. Okay, that was faster than swimming. Good on that young man. Man, that's absolutely fantastic. Meanwhile, our second place, maybe I'm thinking initially our second place female. She is
going for the scooter cross.
She's going for the scooter cross. Oh no, she's like, oh, that takes too long. She's getting up. There's Logan Broadbent. Looks like he's bombing the downhill.
So here is that. Is that Logan? This signal right here was good. Because I think we already saw the first place come through.
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, for sure. Here's a little low rig. I really hope we get some action on this low rig. Come on. And jump over until that comes back.
Yeah, the obstacle probably presents a little bit of a challenge to Logan because he's not that tall. And
yeah, those high barrels.
If you're sweaty and wet, you slide on those 55-gallon poly drums really well that they have that rotate.
Let's see. Come on, pick up your camera, Charity. So here's a shot of that low rig into the pipe section.
Oh yeah.
And again,
that looks difficult.
If you're sweaty, that pipe is nice and round and wide. It is really tough to get a grip on. Here's a wide shot of it.
There you go. That's a good angle right there.
People coming out of the pipes.
There's Vivian.
Now, let's see. Vivian hasn't done the slide yet. I think the slide is 3.5 miles in.
Yeah, I think it's coming up soon.
And then you
So
got to
I
stick
thought all the men
another
and women.
3.5.
So all the men and women didn't go out at the same time, Jason?
It's hard to say. I mean, is she so far back that we would think that that they didn't?
Yeah, the first time I lost balance.
Well, I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
I can't quite tell. There's more gentlemen there on the decagon.
Vivian doing some hiking.
Yep, she's going to power hike. I know she's been being trained by Rich Ryan. She's very stringent to her training regimen. Keep trying to get her to come join us on trail runs and some other runs, and she refuses because she has her set schedule by Rich Ryan.
She said no. Rich said I can't do that.
Yeah. She puts a hard no on it. That part of my training regimen. Here's that log
Rich Ryan,
culvert.
he's done a little bit of commentating with you back at Grit Games last year.
Yep, absolutely. I really enjoyed that. Seems like a wonderful gentleman.
You know, I can see. So behind me is the big slide and Dragon's Back, and people look like they're handling it pretty well. I can see them getting across, and the little running section. It seems like it holds you up just fine as long as you keep moving.
Okay, yeah, they're not freezing.
No, they're not. They're not falling in.
Okay, nice.
I'm curious. The water underneath Dragon's Back looks undisturbed, so I'm thinking that nobody's fallen in yet.
See, that gentleman comes out of that culvert, and he's like, "Oh, I hated that." That was. He's glad to be out of there. You could almost read his lips.
There's Hubie on the rig, on the rings.
Hubie, no stranger to long rigs and difficult obstacles.
Still killing it.
Yeah. That gentleman right there will be outrunning and outdoing us at the races in his 80s. Here come Vivian through the same climb.
Yeah, people tell me about getting old, and I hope to still be able to do it. Like, he's a great example. You can keep doing it at that age. There ain't no reason why you got to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if a lot of the guys in the Masters category, man, they've been fit their whole lives. And they just stay fit. It's a lifestyle. It's a mentality.
Yeah, just you keep training. You don't stop. You'll be okay.
Yep. And it helps prolong your life, man. Good health. Leading cause for death is heart disease. And the best way to stave off heart disease, staying fit, keeping your heart healthy. Staying fit, working out, eating well. Best ways to do it.
At the same time, how wild is it? Obviously, staying fit is one thing. Putting yourselves through some of the intense stuff that we put ourselves through is a little bit something else.
Yeah, it might be a little much. It's funny because, Jason, we've been doing it for so long, for so many years now. Sometimes you forget what the perception is to people on the normal level. That even the people that just go to the gym to stay fit, right? We seem like a bit much, but it's really not that bad, man. And you've always got to be putting your body under new movements, under new things. So you don't want to just do the same workout over and over and over again, because you plateau in your progress. But if you continue to put yourself under new conditions, you continue to make that progress, use new muscles, get stronger. Not to mention the mental aspect of just getting out of your comfort zone. And it goes for a long way. When you learn to, hey, here's something new, I'm kind of scared of it, and you overcome it, you're going to do that in your day-to-day life. When you have problems arise in your family, at work, you learn to continue to just put one foot in front of the other and overcome that obstacle in life like you would at a race. It's a mental perspective.
That's right, man. All the lessons learned from, especially, I would be curious to have this conversation with a track athlete or maybe a shorter distance cross country runner, because I know that's what we feel like we get from doing long distance stuff. But how, and even 6 to 10 miles can be considered long distance to some people. So I'd be curious to hear their thoughts on such a thing. Do they get the same life lessons out of it?
That
Man, we've got
that last shot did look
on
like
the
Vivian.
slide. Huh? It was.
It was Vivian, right? This on the freeze frame, it looked like a different person, but I recognized the gear.
Yeah, Vivian is. I think she's looking kind of tired, man. She's walking a little bit
but
on
she
that.
stopped to get water
Wasn't
sometimes.
super steep.
But she's in the lead. She knows there's no other ladies near her, so she can take it a little easier. She's there. She wants to win. She recently got accepted into the for the American USA OCR team. Huge congratulations to her.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
If I didn't know any better, I think Logan Broadbent's on that. I think Logan Broadbent's on that team as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. They're going to be going down to Costa Rica.
Yeah, absolutely. The first race will be there in Costa Rica. That'll be a really nice way to help promote OCR throughout the world. I'm glad to see that becoming a part of pentathlon, and hopefully we'll start seeing that in the Olympics.
I was curious to see if anybody had just run through this, because it is quite long to be ninja hopping, and it's not so close together that you can just do it easily. You really got to hop back and forth.
Did you try this yesterday? Did you try ninja hopping it back and forth?
I didn't, because I didn't want to fall in the water.
Fair. We can't tell people get out of your comfort zone, Jason. You're afraid to jump in the water. Maybe you need to go do this race after.
Well, I had my camera and my phone and all the equipment on me, so I didn't. I tried.
I'm joking. I'm just teasing you.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, such a cool angle of the
little bit of a shot. Yeah, it's a shame that I had it. You can see that little dock on the left there, and I had a camera on that, and it was giving us, when we first started up the feed this morning, we got a shot of it, and it was clean. But no, it's not. It's as people come through, cell signal, especially out here, you got towers getting congested fairly easy. So Vivian going over culvert.
Yeah, 53 minutes in. We'll be getting closer to the end of the race here.
Don't know if my rabbits heard me earlier about restarting the app. Didn't mean to just stop and start the recording again, but to actually, close it out so that you get the settings back up to date. Here you can see gentlemen coming out of the barbed wire. Like I said, this is the spot where the barbed wire ends, but it actually continues just in high grass. And then eventually, about 20 meters later, you go back into the barbed wire again.
Okay. And it looks like they're spaced far enough to where you can kind of walk in between the barbed wire.
Yeah, it's definitely not a low crawl, just more of a duck under.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a call from a rabbit. Hang on.
No problem. Keep on going. Right now we got video of Vivian Tran still in first place for the elite females. And it looks like she is charging this downhill. And it looks like in the distance what's going to be coming up is the walls. There. I saw this on the WarX Instagram post. They said, "Oh, you hate hills? Here we have steps." So they installed these walls that go up that look like steps.
Oh, that section at the end. Yeah, it's they call it Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, do they? Okay. Yeah, and it's, walls are another staple in OCR that we see all the time. And they look like they're, walls are normally easy, but when you have 4 or 5 of them back to back, man, that is really tiring, especially when it's up a hill. No, she's coming up to the what do they call this obstacle again? She's coming up to. I call it Dragon's Breath. What do they call it?
Dragon's Back.
Dragon's Back. Gotcha.
Yep.
I don't know how Vivian feels about this obstacle, but I have confidence in she'll jump right through it, no problem. Let's see. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she's going through quick.
Yeah, she's going through quick. It's cutting out a little bad connection, but she's already halfway through it. Get a little slow-mo action right there. Right there, you can see that she's close to the festival area, so it gives you a little bit of extra encouragement. You hear the music, you hear the people, you know you're getting closer to the end. So she's really charging
Except you're only halfway through.
Oh, it's only halfway through at this point. Oh wow.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Well, maybe that's another mental obstacle then, because that would have been hard on me. I would have, hey, I know I'm getting close to the end. No, you're not, Miles, and then you gotta find that motivation again. There we go. We have some more athletes on that balance beam. They're doing the scoot method.
Yeah, we still got this. We got a still shot of this. It's not holding strong, but there's a great shot.
If you're allowed to swim in between that little section we just had in the last cut, I think that's also a better way to go, because think how hot and sweaty you are at this point. A nice jump in the lake probably do you a lot of good.
Yeah. How are we looking on the weather? Let's see. 82 degrees.
It just keeps going up.
You make it? All right. Grab your band before you go.
Still breezy,
82
though.
to us here. Oh, it is. Yeah, I can see the breeze hitting your shirt as you stand up on the feet. So
I know.
Kind of see how that breeze.
I don't know how she got ahead.
Getting a little bit of a shot from the slide.
Yep.
Vivian's
already out. She's gonna go cross that rig we were talking about earlier.
Little truss cross.
Yep, she'll probably attack this like monkey bars. She's no stranger to this.
The interesting thing about this is you've got these
water up there.
Grips. You got what? Is it?
Looks like she's taking a sip of water on the freeze spray. I didn't know they have water up there.
It does. You've got wider grips on the outsides, and then those, where it's connected is very kind of thin, like thinner than a monkey bar on a playground even. So
yeah,
those are a little harder to hang on. Like it kind of hurts your hand a little more being thin like that. So I'd be curious to see. And they're at an angle too as you're swinging across. So they're not straight monkey bars. It's like angled monkey bars. So you got 45 degrees to each other. See, I'm curious to which section she uses. Like I was thinking, just do a sideways swing traverse across on one of the sides.
Yeah, I would. A couple of gentlemen went through it earlier, and they just attacked it like monkey bars. I think that might be the best way to go.
That's too bad.
That's okay. Once again, guys, these races are out in the middle of nowhere. It's far out, so it's really the cell. Anytime you're out in the middle of nowhere, cell service is usually really hard. So to get the reception from the down he goes.
I hope he's okay. It's not crazy. He's deep right there.
Yeah, it was early on. It was like the first one. I'm sure he's okay.
Let's see if he comes out.
In the water.
He's probably gonna. I wonder if he's gonna continue on or if he's gonna come back out and then go across again.
Retry it. Yeah, the obstacle. You're an OCR. We're no stranger to a couple of slips, trips, and falls, right? But we get back up. We're pretty good at taking hits.
Yeah, that's right. We did get some testing done out here now I wasn't here for it, but it's not as good as we had hoped. I think the cell towers out in places like this, they can't handle quite as much throughput. So I've got 8 cameras right now sending video, so that could be part of it.
Yeah, the more we do it, the more we learn.
And we're really hoping to do the battle challenge, but I don't know. We might have to think about it and see if we just want to go post race, because it's I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see enough of it. Here comes somebody down the
Do we
side.
know what the battle challenge is comprised of? Can you tell us any more details on that? Exactly what that is?
Yeah, it includes. It's like it's a 5K obstacle course race with live fire. You're having to hit targets with guns, and I think a lot more explosions.
Wait, did you say live targets?
Well, not live targets, but live fire against targets. Yeah.
So you come out here, and the people that didn't win in the first race, you hunt them like game. Yeah, that'll be really cool. That'd be really, really neat. It's just overall, it looks like just an extremely fun day. People need to come out here, fly out to Southeast Ohio. The whole countryside near Southeast Ohio, West Virginia is absolutely beautiful. Come give it a shot, man. Come support these local races. Help keep them going. Help keep OCR growing.
This is my camera pointing back at the flag.
That's kind of a cool angle. I like that.
Yeah, it's a little far away.
This seems like a small thing, by the way, but I also think it's pretty cool. They got the entire American flag on the side of a hill with that straight of lines. I think that's extremely difficult to do.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. Like that is it's symmetrical and there's straight lines on a hill, which would be extremely difficult. Good on them, man.
Yeah, spray paint. Big old backpacks with that they use to add the spray paint, spray it on the ground. Takes them a while.
Yeah, I bet. See one gentleman in the foreground there trying to go up the hill.
And I can smell that gunpowder from here.
Can you really? Wow. Yeah, that was Miranda Hooper. She podiumed for this race last year, and she said the same thing. She's like, yeah, you just smell the gunpowder and the ammo and the explosions all over the place.
I know I
love this little obstacle right here.
Yeah, kind of like a twister with different types of holds on it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen something like that. Like we've seen Twister a bunch, but I don't think I've seen a variation on Twister quite like this.
And it rolls nice and smooth too.
Yeah, that's really neat. I haven't seen that in a ninja gym.
Yeah.
Some of these things I haven't seen in any gym. So if you want to come, hey, take a shot at it. Sign up for this race. Come out to Thurman, Ohio, and come try WarX. Yeah, it looks like people are getting through on this decagon just fine. We saw the one gentleman, I think, fail it one time earlier and then get back on and get through it. But everyone seems to be doing A-okay on this. This must be easier than it initially looks, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to stay on it. It's really more about the efficiency and how quick you can get through it, I think. Because you can see, he's kind of stuck.
How's the course so
He's
far? Loving it, man.
taking a moment. Okay, I got to step forward. If you get it efficiently and you can just power through, you can get through it very quickly and make a lot of time on people.
Try the new I love it.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, everyone's getting through it just fine.
Yeah.
They got some family members out there
like
volunteering.
How's the anybody going down the slide? Wish I'd have brought my telephoto lens. There goes somebody.
There goes someone. Look, that just looks like good old fun, man. Yeah, they go.
Well, I can't wait to get out there and do it myself in a little bit.
Yeah, you've been watching it over and over and over all day. I can't imagine what it'd be like to be there and not have gone down that slide yet. You've got to be dying to do that.
Well, you know what's funny is I'm eager to get out there and play, but I did the course. You know, I ran the whole course yesterday, so I'm pretty beat already. Look, why couldn't we get the clean feed?
7 miles is a lot. 1,800 feet of gain, that's a lot, man.
Yeah. Well, it was also extremely hot, and I was running low on sodium. I for people that have trouble in the heat, and I've been using sodium capsules, and drinking like liquid IV and stuff. It's tough. It's tough to drink that much, as if you're a person like me that needs a lot. So having the sodium tablets, the pills, make a huge difference. I can just throw back 1,000. Whoa! Oh, dang. Y'all just missed a good slide. I can throw back. There's Vivian coming through the, like rolling mud. Yeah. But yeah, I can throw back 1,000, 1,500 an hour, if half an hour if I need to. Like it's just you can take in so much more
milligrams
if you got to drink it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned a lot more about that recently, and the importance of I don't want to nerd out on the camera, but the electron transport chain and how your body creates energy. There are certain metals and salts that your body needs for the electron transport chain, and if you're deficient on some of these elements, and like sodium or potassium, magnesium, then it causes huge problems in generating energy.
Wait, say it again. If you're low on those,
if you're on those certain metals like potassium, sodium, magnesium, these different metals that are used along the electron transport train system. It's how your cell makes energy, and so there's certain chemical reactions that go on, but you need those metals in order to help create the energy and create that ATP, so you can use the energy to do things. And some people have deficiencies. Some people they're finding a lot now.
You're saying if you have more, if you need more of it, is it because you're not utilizing it as well, or is it because you just don't? Yeah, like what kind of deficiency makes you use less of those or have less of those minerals?
So for some people, I believe it's just genetic. So or if you're lacking, if your body, so say, for example, my daughter, if she doesn't have the Krebs cycle of how your body makes energy, if there's say an oxygen that doesn't bond, or one part of the reaction that doesn't happen, say a free radical happens along the Krebs cycle or something like that, you're not able to make the energy. And some people genetically aren't able to be as efficient in that process, or lack certain things for that process to go along. Without getting too deep into the woods for everyone at home, free feel to look that up. It's the first class in biology. It's absolutely fascinating. It's really, really cool. But and then we get those electrolytes everywhere. You couldn't drink all the water you get everywhere. It all has those electrolytes in it. You could not have those electrolytes. If it didn't have those electrolytes, it would just be deionized water, and it would be horrible for your health. You'd get sick.
Well, how do you go about testing how much or how how poorly your body is at utilizing those electrolytes. How do you test
So
that?
there's deeper testing you can do in a clinical setting for it, and then there's also a basic sweat test you can do with, say we have a local a friend that you and me like to use, Kevin Harkins, right, who can help you actually perform those sweat tests and see the rate at which you lose hydration in the system. It's not going to tell you what specific electrolytes you're short on, but it'll tell you, hey, at which rate do you need to hydrate yourself? Because just like you're saying, Jason, some others need to hydrate more than others, and need certain electrolytes.
Yeah, and that
There we go.
is what I did to learn that I needed way more sodium because I lose it so fast. Lose it a lot.
Yeah, here we go. We see Vivian. Yeah, nice Vivian. She makes it through just
Yeah,
fine. Now she's
yeah,
to
make it easy
the.
work.
I hope the feed does well here. I'd like to
Oh,
see someone make it from beginning to end on this, because that thing is just, it moves like crazy. It's the most unstable caving ladder you may have ever been on.
well, I mean, doing this at a fair, there's a trick to it, but it's, unless you know the trick, it's about impossible. So I think just let it flip over and go underneath is the way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there she
Yep,
goes
and that
underneath.
is indeed, I think, the strategy that Vivian took on.
Now I know the video's kind of slowed down here, but I'm curious, like, is she just like hanging there? Like, you need to get moving. Don't waste your grip.
Yeah, the
But
longer
let's just
you hang there, the faster your grip is being expended, right?
okay, and she's out. She's dead.
Yep, okay. It looks like she's just resting her grip now. She's taking a break halfway through the rig. She's allowed to do that. That's totally along the rules. And then she will traverse this twister
Yeah,
style deal. Her grip is probably getting beat up by now.
I like rigs like
Keep in
that
mind,
where you've got that space in the middle where you can rest, but you're still not touching the ground all the way through. She's definitely taking a rest here.
yeah. She's been actually heavy on the ninja training lately, so she knows where her grip is at, and she knows she needs a bit of a break. And keep in mind too, I almost feel like it's easier for guys because we have more bicep strength, so we can lock off at a 90 and kind of attack this the way you would twister backwards, right, and keeping a locked off grip. But for her, she's pretty strong, but you can't quite do it that method. She gets through just fine. She's going to take another break there, catch her breath, let her grip regain before she attempts the last part.
How do you feel about Vivian's
Nice.
strength? Knowing her personally, how do you feel about her ability to, do pull-ups, lock off, that kind of stuff? Like, do you know how many pull-ups she can do?
I don't know how many pull-ups she can do, but she's proficient. And she definitely does enough grip training. I think she should be able to get through this. But even for those of us that are really obstacle proficient, this is a long rig, man, and it's at an incline too. Which, especially if you're from a flat area like you and me, it's intimidating, right? It's like, oh man, this is a long rig, and it's going up a hill, which I already hate hills. And this looks like, is this just pipe to pipe to pipe, Jason?
Yep. Yeah. Just two
Okay.
standing tall pipes, and then you go to the horizontal pipe, and there's a little wall after it.
There we go. Is that our second place
woman.
female?
Oh, I think we've
Wow.
got a
Okay.
race here,
Yeah, we
and they
do.
still
She's
got
gaining
a
on Vivian.
lot.
Vivian's got to pick it up.
They got a lot of trail running to do yet, still too. They got all those ravines to go into, all the cargo nets to climb. If Vivian is slowing down, she might get past here. How's she been
This
handling
young
the
lady
heat?
right here is going to have that obstacle proficiency too. She's halfway through. There we go. Vivian attempting this last part. Oh no, it's not the last part. There's one more section after. Yeah, there you go. Well, that
No,
answers our question.
that's the end. Yeah, so you got the horizontal pipe to the wall. You got to get on top of the wall to this hanging incline pipe that she's going across right now.
Yeah, now I've seen video of this. I've seen video of men putting their legs up on the bar. Do we know if it's legal to put your legs on the bar, or it has no legs at all?
Like I said, man, if you oh yeah, that's right. There's a little balance beam right there too. If you haven't been told, then just assume it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I've went the worst case scenario, and I'll usually do the obstacles the harder way if there's no direction. And that's bit me in the butt a couple times. I see someone come through and like, hey, why don't you use your legs? You know you could do that, right? No, I didn't know. Could have saved a lot of energy.
A lot of people. Is that Operation Enduring Warrior possibly? It's a big crowd right there.
Yeah, so
Coming off.
I've noticed they're heavy on that. These guys have a deep ties to Operation Enduring Warrior, which we all love. It's really cool to see those guys get out there and team up together and help each other. These are active duty and veterans with different kinds of disabilities that get out there and help each other. Man, they'll do this entire race with a respirator, with a gas mask. That's mind
Hey, check
blowing.
out. Yeah. Check out this obstacle. I don't know if I just didn't go on the right part of the course or what, but I did not see this one. I know we're just looking at a freeze frame here, but this is cool. It's one of those big giant pipes.
Yeah.
You got to roll it across.
Yeah, so I was watching video of trying to research this race, and that is indeed, it's like a hamster wheel. But what I think you can't tell in that angle is that it's at a slight incline and that it's slippery inside. So that's actually much more difficult than that looks. There's Operation Enduring Warrior. Sure, man, that is a big showing by Operation Enduring Warrior.
We've got our first place male coming through the end here.
Oh, wow.
We really should have better footage here, and we're not getting it. I'm going to get my camera to where we can see them coming through the zip line.
It's a little choppy. We can see him going up over the stairway to heaven. WarX's version of Stairway to Heaven. We've had to use that name in a couple different OCR races.
Right.
It's really cool. I like the words they put on each wall as they come up and over it. Look, that one says empower, that one says honor. And so you climb these tiers. Very metaphorical. Yeah, so look.
Here he comes.
So he'll come up over that and then zip line down, and we're at the end of the race. And this is
He's
preliminary
back
results,
too.
right?
Yeah, but this is definitely the first gentleman across. There he is.
You made it.
I know he's right in front of me. It's a little delay.
No, it's okay. Really cool. That looks like such a fun obstacle. There's isn't the other local race over here in Texas, Spartacus Dash? Don't they have a long zip line as well? I know you've done that race.
Which one?
Jason, there's another race that has a zip line. One of our local races here in Texas, in Belton, Texas, I believe, right? A Spartacus Dash?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got a zip line too.
definitely
I can't think of any other races. Can you think of any other races that use zip line?
Not really.
Yeah, me neither. I always thought it'd be really cool to have a race that starts with a skydive. You skydive down to the start line. I thought that'd be really expensive, but kind of a cool idea.
That would be awesome.
I see in one of the other cameras we got Vivian. Looks like to be Vivian coming up over the barrels.
Okay.
So we got live feed.
Catch the next man. Logan.
Yeah, we'll see how far away second place male is.
Yeah, he's still. Okay, I see him coming out the woods now. He's coming up to the stairway to heaven right at this moment.
Can you tell who that is?
I'm pretty positive it's Logan.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So props to the young gentleman that took first place just now. He must have been.
Yeah.
Logan is very fast, and he must have been absolutely flying to on the runs to pass Logan. Even Logan Broadbent will even show up to the mountain races for Spartan, and he can podium. He can do really, really well because the hills and the elevation climb for him, it doesn't affect him as much. Man, look at that. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful piece of land, too.
That's right.
You can hear that wildfire in the background.
This kind of feed the whole time, it would have been even better.
There you go, Logan Broadbent looking backwards. He knows he's got second place in the bag. He's no one behind him.
Yeah, you can see we've got the that sweet looking vehicle next to him. We've got a camera in that one too, but it's just
man, that is cool. Through. That is a really nice vehicle. That's a hell of a UTV.
Come on now. Here's the other angle. Here we go. Just like some big steps.
There you go. Logan gets back in the run. There he goes.
Whoops. There it is.
Caught his breath a little bit. Tell you what, this is so late in the race that you're pretty tired of this.
Logan. Let's go. Put on a show. Big finish. Everybody's watching at the finish line.
Put on a show.
I got the live broadcast in my ear.
He's such a great guy, man. He's got such a great personality. He's really approachable, too. If you ever see him at races, you go up and go have a conversation with him. He's a great conversationalist. Yep, there you go. Just coming up to the run. There's another staple of OCR, right, Jason? We always have an A-frame of some sort. Now, this is pretty unique. This is really cool. Now, you can kind of see the rock climbing grip holds in the inside of those large culverts. Other than that, the inside of those culverts, it's smooth. That is not easy. It looks like it's ribbed right there, but it's not ribbed enough to give you any kind of grip, really.
Yeah, it is just a touch, but yeah, not much.
Okay,
but yeah, that's cool. But no, yeah, it's like a little ripple is all it is.
Yeah, but he got through it just fine. It didn't look like he was using the rock climbing grips other than at the very beginning there. He kind of walked up to it, so maybe not as bad as I was initially thinking.
So you can see they have to pull this back.
Stay high.
Well, here we go. This will be your second place.
Keep your feet up.
Elite male Logan Broadbent coming through the finish line, finishing up on the zip line.
Whoa! That about slung him off.
There we go.
Wow.
It's a hell of a swing down.
You know, I don't think I can even ask the other gentleman to come interview. I don't see him anywhere.
Probably out chugging water somewhere. After all those hills and all that running. What is that on the table there, Jason? It was really cool.
I think
Go
that's
ahead
their
and,
their finisher
hop in
thing.
with Jason
Hey,
here.
Logan, you want to come chat? I've got Miles Keller on the on with me.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Logan, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. How you how you feeling?
There we go.
You know what? I haven't. I'm a little beat up, to be honest with you. I had an
We'll leave that
MRI
first place kid.
just 2 weeks ago on my labrum in my hip, and just got some micro tears from the Boston Marathon that I'm still dealing with. So I've pretty much shut it down, since April. But this is a good little, I decided to come out here and have some fun and do some fun obstacles and just kind of relax through it, and it felt great. It was awesome.
Yeah, you've been doing OCR long enough now where you don't have to local races like this. You can kind of just drop in. But plus, you're no stranger to this race, right? You've done this one in years. How many years now have you done this race?
You know what? Funny enough, even though I'm an Ohio guy, last year was the first year that I did this race because usually I have a boomerang tournament of all things the same weekend each year. But I was able to skip that last year and come out here instead. I actually have the World Boomerang Championships coming up next week. So I've been taking it easy on this ulnar collateral ligament in my elbow that I tore years and years ago, but I've been trying to put off Tommy John surgery. And taking my time on the obstacles, just having a good time, make sure you pass everything. And but this is a great race. I mean, the obstacles are very legitimate here. So if anybody's looking for a race with really tough obstacles, this is a really good one to come out to. You can fly into Columbus, Cincinnati, and drive out pretty easily. So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, hey, do we know which obstacles were mandatory and which ones weren't? We never really got confirmation on that, but maybe you heard it during the ruling.
You know what? I think there were. Let me count my bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
8.
he's got a whole slew of bands on his wrist.
There are 8 mandatory obstacles. Some of them you're not going to have much trouble with. A couple of the they have a rig system that's going uphill that is very upper body intensive. So that one's going to hang up a lot of people. They switched it up from last year, but there were definitely a lot of folks on that obstacle, doing retries. Doing retries last year. I expect this year to be the same.
Man, I can't believe it, with a strained hip.
Oh yeah, there you go. Let's see. Is it this camera?
Yeah.
So you can see
that's a lot of
quite
bands.
a few here. Each one's a different color. So yeah, I wasn't planning to collect this many, but it looks good. It looks like I'm ready to go to a Taylor Swift concert or something.
I was told you only
do you keep
3. Go ahead, Miles.
No, go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
I was told you only needed 3 to, officially complete the race, but
is that right?
You have all of them.
Oh yeah, we got them all. Hey, Noah's here. Hey,
Yeah.
This is a guy you really want to talk to. If you're looking for the face of OCR here in the next couple years, Noah is a very, very legitimate talent. He and I have been racing together for a few years.
Yeah.
But I've got a few years on him. So I expect him to be coming through and just tearing up the scene here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, we've actually been following Noah for years now. He's been in OCR for Noah. How many years have you been doing OCR for?
I think this will be my 3rd year.
A 3rd year? Okay, I thought you'd been doing it for longer than that because I thought I saw you. You did really good in the. You'd win the Spartan Kids race too, right? Before you started doing the adult races. No, you never did that.
I actually haven't done Spartan yet.
He jumped right into the big leagues. He jumps right into the big leagues.
Yeah, my first race was
nice, man.
Yeah, my first race was Ohio Savage 2 years ago, and then I did India Mud Run the weekend after because I loved it so much, and then that was the last year of India Mud Run. So
yeah.
How old are you
now?
Yeah, that's where we met a couple times there. Yeah,
I'm 19 now.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, man. Future of the sport. You have so much more. You're gonna keep on progressing and progressing and progressing. You're gonna absolutely kill it. We're so excited to watch your progress in OCR as you're the future of the sport, man. It's so neat to see the younger guys coming up and you're moving really, really good out there, man. Did you get 3rd place or did you cross in first? It was hard to tell on the live feed. You got 1st place?
I think I was first. I didn't even see Logan come through. I think you were in the. Were you in the tunnel when I went by?
I think so. Yeah. Yep. So yeah,
man, nice.
Yeah, you did great. He doesn't waste any time.
What kind of running background do you have?
So I started cross country in middle school, so I kind of ran through that, and then I also started doing Ninja Warrior around the same time. So I was training the obstacles and the running side by side, but then I didn't start OCR until again like 3 years ago.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a natural evolution then. There was
right,
no
exactly.
way
It
you
was kind of
weren't going to
perfect.
end up in obstacle course racing then.
I know, right? Yeah, it was just kind of meant to be. Yeah, I know.
Hey, Logan, are they going to
Michelle.
televise the? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying that Michelle Warnke, who was really big in OCR, she owns the gym that I work at right now and that I trained at, and so that was she kept on telling me to get into it, and then I finally did. Yeah,
Yeah, no, we know Michelle. She's awesome, man. She's been doing OCR for a long
yeah,
time too.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, give the OCR gym a shout out. What's the name of the gym there that she has?
It's Movement Lab
Movement
Ohio
Lab.
in Worthington.
Yeah, okay, good deal, man. We want to make sure we
I got that in
promote those
Columbus.
local OCR gyms and ninja gyms.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I got to give a shout out to Authentic Movement up in
Yeah.
Cleveland. PJ Camargo, who's just a monster in OCR. He does a lot of. He just did a 200-mile race from I think it was from
Kings
Sandusky,
Island.
Ohio, down to Kings
Yeah.
Island, just north of Cincinnati. So he's
Oh my
yeah,
God.
he's amazing. He runs a gym. He's got a bunch of people out here. CLE OCR, Cleveland OCR with Jason Dooley. He's kind of running the show there. He brought a huge gang. So there's a really good scene up there.
Yeah, it's so nice to see these local races. Like, are you seeing more people coming from out of state to come try this race?
Yeah, each year we seem to see more and more. There are more people actually flying in for this race. When the past few years, I think most people were driving in from from Kentucky, even down in Tennessee, Indiana, Pennsylvania. But now people are coming from a lot further because they're realizing they want some really challenging obstacles, and this is where you get it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we know I was talking about it earlier. How Ohio has always had a record of having some really great races, whether it been Indian River Run or Indian Mud Run,
Yeah,
or
Indian Mud
remember
Run for
King's
sure.
Domain up in Medford in the first OCR World Championships being up there. So if you want legit obstacles, it's definitely one of the states to come to. But we don't talk about it much. You hear it as much on OCR media as because most of the races in the bigger races, the bigger race brands, it
Yeah.
doesn't happen in Ohio. So it's really cool
Right.
to hear about the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, yeah, we don't have those massive brands, although Savage does come through. Spartan usually has a race down now in Southwest Ohio. I think they got rid of the one in Northeast Ohio. That was closest to me. but there are some really good local races, and I definitely encourage everybody to support those as much as they can because that's that's kind of the it really feeds the sport big time.
Are they going to televise this boomerang tournament that you mentioned earlier? I want to see this, man. I've interviewed
Yeah.
you, and you and me have known each other for a long time, but I don't know where to watch this, man.
Yeah, but yeah, it should be online. We're at the United States Boomerang Association, usba.org. This one is actually going to be in the States. It's going to be in Denver this year. We were in Bordeaux, France 2 years ago. It'll be in Indonesia 2 years from now. And yeah, it's really new. Actually, if anybody, I know there's a lot of OCR folks out in the Denver, Colorado Springs, Boulder area. So July 7th through the 15th, we're actually going to be competing. So if they want to look it up, check out the World Boomerang Championships 2024, and you can see where we're going to be. It's going to be awesome. We're going to defend our title. The US has to defend our title.
I have a million questions for you but I will derail this stream going right into all the questions I have about competitive boomeranging. But Noah, what races do you have coming up, man? What do you have planned? Do you have an A race you're planning for? Was this the A race? What are your plans going forward this year?
So right now I'm just trying to build up fitness for OCRWC. As far as the season goes, I think my next race will be Chicago Savage here in a couple weeks. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, are you going to be focused on the 3K? You can do the 10K, the 15K. Are you going to try and do all of them for OCR World Championships?
I'm hoping to do the 3K and the 15K. 3K as kind of like a shakeout before the 15K. 15K is going to be my main focus though.
Okay. Yeah, in another feed, we have kind of a side picture here of Vivian going through that slosh pipe. We didn't see it earlier when you guys came through. Tell me about that slosh pipe, man. About how difficult is that? How heavy was it?
Um,
What do you think, Noah? I mean, compared to last year,
I thought,
it
yeah,
might be just slightly lighter than last year. I thought. It's still a pretty good weight. I don't know. What do you think it is? Like 40 pounds,
something
maybe?
like that.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the tricky part is the ground is just really uneven.
It's hard to.
So so even if you're trying to keep it balanced, as soon as you step in a hole and you tilt, all the weight goes to one side.
Yeah.
So maybe it's 50 pounds, maybe or so, but and it's a pretty steep descent and a pretty steep climb, pretty much straight down and straight back up, right?
Yeah, you're just weaving all over the place. At least I am. I'm like, oh, it's this way. I got to correct it. Oh, it's this way. So it's a tricky obstacle for sure, but it makes it fun.
Do you guys have good enough control that, or are you the kind of athlete that knows when you're going downhill that you can regain your breathing? You use that as a chance to just let gravity do its thing and
Big time.
gain what your breath back you can, because you also inherently know that if you're going down, you're going right back up at some point.
Exactly. Yeah, we really
for sure.
loosen up and kind of let our stride out. I saw you were kind of recovering on a lot of the downhills,
Yeah.
and then
Let's go, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Third place
Moving
male
on,
coming
Ohio
through.
guy.
I think
What's
that's
Ryan's
fourth,
last
right?
name?
I think fifth.
Or fifth,
Ryan
yeah.
Sanders.
Okay, Ryan's okay, cool deal. Do we
Yeah.
know who got third place? We didn't catch third place.
I believe that was Kevin Thompson.
Probably Kevin. Yeah, he was with
Kevin
us for a
Thompson.
while.
Okay, yeah, he's a local favorite too, right?
Oh yeah.
He's from North Carolina though.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
All right, there you go.
Okay.
I thought he was an Ohio guy. All right.
Is he Ohio?
Maybe he's down there now. I don't know. We'll see.
I was gonna say I thought it was from North Carolina, but
Yeah, I
later.
didn't see the flamethrowers on course. By the way, where were the flamethrowers?
I
Oh, yeah.
didn't see them either.
Maybe that's later
I'm
on.
just gonna assume there's dry grass, and the Smokey the Bear came out and told them no flamethrowers this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'll probably. I think sometimes they bust them out a little bit later for some of the open waves, so they can get to experience that.
Yeah, the sheriff's office is probably out there wondering, always probably out there hearing they smell the gun smoke and hear the gunshots, wondering what's going on
Yeah,
in this crazy piece of land. Hey,
Yeah,
so
the fire
we have the
marshal.
battle race coming up later on. How does that work between you two being in first and second place? Is there points going into that? I never got the details of how that works. Can you kind of explain to people
Oh, is
what
it
to
like
expect later
is
on
it
in the day?
Yeah, is it the series? Is he referring to like the series that WarX has?
I don't know.
Yeah, the
You know what?
trilogy? Like you guys are competing later on today at like 6 o'clock or something, right?
I'm actually heading up north. I got to head back this evening. And given my condition, I can't go too much today. But are you racing again later?
I don't think so. I've got the extra 2 loops for the, what do they call
Oh,
it?
the trifecta or the
The trifecta.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably hit that slide one more time too, coming down that American
man,
flag.
Absolutely. Can't not.
That's awesome.
That is so cool. Did you? I think the video probably doesn't do it justice. They say it's 350 feet long, and it looks like you get a lot of air. So you're probably at much more of a decline than the video does it justice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I usually take a running start at the top and dive head first and see how much distance I can get into the lake. That's always a good time.
Yeah. So we actually got that on video. You full bore attacked it, and yeah, the head first, and it just look at.
I'm just having fun, man. I'm just having a great time. I'm having a great time.
Fun.
You come off that ramp, and you're just that air time's amazing. I'm still a kid at heart, you know. I mean, and
yeah, we all are.
Exactly. Anybody doing OCR is probably still a kid at heart.
I heard on a video earlier, it said, "Us guys, we don't grow up; we just get older."
Exactly. Oh my gosh, it is so epic. I mean, if you just come here just for the slide, if you guys want, it's worth the trip.
For sure.
Yeah, man, that's cool. So OCR World Championships. What is your guys' opinion on OCR World Championships since Spartan has bought the brand? It doesn't seem like it's changed at all. They kind of kept everything the same. I didn't get to go last year, so I wasn't there in person. But what's kind of your guys' feelings about OCR World Championships going forward?
Yeah, so I was at the Chicago Marathon last year, that same weekend. So I missed out on the experience, the one thing I've always loved about OCR World, the OCR World Championships is, you know, the camaraderie, right? The people, you have people traveling from all over. Some of the most dedicated people in OCR, right, are there. And it's still a small enough world that, you make friends from all over the country, right? And you actually get to see those people. They do a really nice job of creating that culture and bringing in that community. And my hope is that under the Spartan brand, you know, they'll be able to continue to maintain that culture, right? Yeah, because that's always a concern, is that it falls into the mix of the corporate, kind of Spartan world, and you lose that kind of personal touch. So yeah, so I'm hoping people keep going. I hope they still have really challenging obstacles that are different than just the common obstacles that you see in Spartan, and they really test people because it is an obstacle course race, not just a race, right? Noah, what are your thoughts? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, last year was my second year going, so I feel like from the first to second year was still a very great experience. Yeah, I feel like the whole community aspect, like you were talking about, like that's my favorite part of it, and I feel like that was still there. I met so many awesome people, people that I still follow, and I'm excited to see again this year. So, yeah, I'm super stoked to see it. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it's not. I absolutely agree with you guys. It's not so much the obstacles; those are great too, because every different race brand brings their best obstacle. It's the environment, and to your point, Logan, it's not just the people, the most dedicated OCR athletes from around the country. It's around the world. You got
yeah, absolutely.
I interviewed athletes in South Africa and England and these other countries, and it was so cool to go shake their hand and not just be over the video the way we are right now, and and talk to them for a while and shoot the breeze and get to know them, because they're genuinely really amazing people. But the environment can't be matched. The environment is just really special if you're really passionate about obstacle course racing.
Yeah, and I think if they keep the OCRWC brand attached to that, right, and people see it as for the legacy that it has been, I think they'll continue to get people to come from all over the world, doing that event. It's it's pretty special. So I'm hoping it maintains its momentum and grows.
Yeah, are you guys? So both you guys kind of have a ninja background as well. Are you guys going to compete in any ninja competitions coming up or anything like that? What do you got going on in the ninja world?
Ninja's kind of on an off season right now. The World Championships was actually last weekend for WNL for that league, World Ninja League. So for the summer, it's an off season, basically right now for most leagues that I know of.
Yeah.
And then it'll resume in the fall again.
Yeah, the American Ninja Warrior, the TV show, the application's actually due at the end of July this year. And usually it's at the end of like November or like December or so is when people usually have a deadline to apply. So they're switching up the schedule this year. We're going to have to apply late July, find out if we get selected. And then I don't know when they're actually going to film. But last year they filmed 2 seasons. So the season we're watching now was actually filmed last year along with last year's season. So so that's why I was
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So so this year it'll be interesting to see if they film 2 seasons again, if they just do 1, or what happens. But so, and you still have to be selected, right? So it's still a reality show in that regard.
Forgot about the show.
Yeah. That's always been my criticism of American Ninja Warrior, because you could be an amazing ninja and a fantastic athlete, but you may not get any screen time. People may not know not know those people are even there until you see the results and you see some names that you and me might recognize. But it's the people the screen time, or the people with the more these they're wonderful stories. People have overcome amazing things, and it touches your heart, and that's going to get the screen time. And I think that I'm happy for this. That's amazing. I also like the hardcore fitness athletic part of ninja and getting to see that. So that's my 2 cents. I'll get off my soapbox on that.
Yeah, I completely agree. For sure. Yeah, those stories are incredible, and they inspire a lot of people.
Have we seen Vivian Tran come through, and she was in first place, and it looked like a second place female was kind of catching up to her on the uphill rig? Have we seen any of the other females come through? And do we know who's chasing Vivian? I'm not sure of the other ladies in the elite female field.
Jason, do you know who's chasing Vivian right now, or what that order looks like for the females?
It kind of looked like the woman that was previously behind Vivian was coming out of the slosh pipe before Vivian.
Oh, so she may have been passed, huh?
I think
that
so.
one. Okay.
Oh wow.
Well, we'll keep you posted. Yeah, we should. We've got a pretty good view of the finish line right here. So let's see if this is a. Yep, there's a gentleman coming down now. But
yeah, I feel like we know most of the females that normally would compete there in Ohio, right? Like it would be we'd have Kelly Sullivan, or we'd have Aaliyah Imam.
Right.
We'd have.
Sometimes
I heard that Dring Klingberg might be competing there today. I didn't see her. I'm not for sure, but I feel like we'll know if it's Kelly Sullivan or Aaliyah Imam because they always have the buzzed hair on the side. They're easier to catch on the live feed, right? It's like
yes. I caught up with Kelly
joking
earlier. This morning.
I was joking earlier because it's hard to tell us apart because you and me hit the course. It's more white guys with a shirt off and black with shorts. Right. You know what I mean? It's like unless you
once you see that farmer's tan, you know who's coming, right?
That's right.
It looks like it's like a beam of light just running through the field.
Yeah. No, it is a beam of light. It's several white guys with the shirts off running up there.
Yeah, for sure. It's too funny. I'm trying to see if I can get a look at if any females are coming through because we actually have a really good view of the course from here. But the last part of the course, the last, what would you say, mile and a half at least, maybe 2 miles, is really in the woods. It's a lot of up and down, left and right. You're running through riverbeds. You're jumping over logs. You're climbing rock walls. And that's
okay. So that's where those cargo nets are up the rock walls. It's kind of that last section of the race. Okay, cool. Because we got pictures of the obstacles. Okay. Yeah, we got pictures of the obstacles, but we weren't quite sure where exactly in the race that it was. So, okay. That'll be cool
those are on the back half, and they are, it's pretty, it's fun to run through the woods through there. It's a lot of single track and a lot of no track at all. You know, it's just,
creek beds.
You know, there's some flags out there, so you got to know where those are, and you just follow them.
So it's easy to go off course.
Well, no, actually, it's super well marked. It's just, they have enough flags that you know where you're going all the time. They're spaced pretty closely together. So I don't know. I didn't really get lost out there. How about you?
I took one wrong turn right at the end there when you went up that one steep, to get out of the woods, and I just had my head down and kept on chugging along. And then before long, I had to backtrack.
Is that before you walked through the rolling tube thing?
Right before that.
Okay, yeah. Because I went through the rolling tube thing and I got to the end and I hopped out and I was like, all right, I can keep going, right? They're like, actually, you're supposed to run it back. And so I jumped back in. I jumped back in and did it again. So.
Nice. That
was a fun one. Noah, you'll have to forgive me too, by the way. I forgot your name at the beginning of the race. I recognized the face. And I don't think you and me ever met in person. I know Logan personally, but I never met you in person. I couldn't remember your name, so I beg your forgiveness. But that last part of the race, it's mostly just straight running, pure running, with a couple cargo nets, a couple logs, but just straight running. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I love how it ends with this with a zip line. We were talking, Jason and I were talking earlier, and I know of one other race that has a zip line. I feel like there's more people are going to implement that.
Dude, the zip lines are fantastic. Awesome. They actually had probably 3 zip lines out here today. 2 of them over water.
Over the water.
And then, the one over there over the water. There's another one somewhere else. And then you got this one, which is over the ground, but it's straight into the finish. So, once you get up to the tube, you get to just shoot across the finish line. And you're supposed to drag your feet to slow down, but it's probably a little more fun when you don't. You just kind of shoot off the end.
Yeah, you went full bore on it. I love it.
I don't know. It's just fun.
Did the men and women go off at the same time? We missed the start.
We did. Yeah, we went off at the same time. Sometimes they're shooting water cannons at the start. Today they didn't have the hoses going. But yeah, we all started together at 8:30.
Let's go, Dad!
So, hey.
Oh, that's cool, man. You got your family out on the course?
Absolutely. Yeah, my little brother actually just started he's doing his first OCR today. So he'll be coming through too in a little bit.
Have an OCR family dynasty coming up.
Absolutely.
As we're going, is your little brother, he likes OCR a whole bunch too? You trying to get him in your runs with you?
Yeah, this'll be his first one. He's starting high school cross country too, so I'm pretty excited to see where he goes with it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is he
Yeah,
like
this
14
also
or?
seems like
yeah,
perfect. This seems like perfect cross
absolutely.
country terrain for a lot of these hills. It's like not very tall
Oh, for sure.
grass, but undulating terrain, right? Some of it's purest
Yeah,
trail running, but most of this really seems like cross country.
Yeah, it's very
it
runnable.
is.
It's a very runnable course. I mean, there's a lot of climbs, right? A lot of uphills and a lot of descents, but nothing is, nothing is so sketchy that you can't, open up and go. From what I could tell,
Yeah, at least in the
until you
front
get into the
half.
woods.
In the front half, it's really obstacle heavy, and then you've got the nice running sections, and then towards the back half, then it becomes more technical with the terrain and stuff. So yeah, it's a
Or
really
if
cool
you have
race.
tears in the hip. I can't imagine dealing with these hills, Logan, with any kind of even micro tears in your hip. That must have been it'd be brutal for most people. You're experienced, obviously, but I don't know how you did it, man.
Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, you just gotta, you just gotta know where that line is, and you gotta stay behind it. In this case, right? Especially, I've got some important stuff coming up, and um, I just want to make sure I'm not, not putting myself at risk there. And then I'm going to be hopefully in Costa Rica, representing USA OCR in August. So I got to be in full health for that as well.
Okay, I was right about that. I shouted that out earlier because I mentioned Vivian had qualified
Yeah.
for the pro for USA OCR in Costa Rica.
Right.
And then I said,
Yep.
I believe Logan Broadbent's on that team as well. I wasn't as sure. So that's cool confirmation. Yeah, man, hey, we're rooting you on. We're super excited for
Yeah.
you, man. Go represent the USA. Yeah, I think you're an amazing. I like you personally as a man too. I think you're just a good
Thank
person
you.
to represent America in general. So I think it'd be great to see you go
I really
kill it on
appreciate
the
that.
international front.
Thank you. No, that means a lot to me, and I'll be ready for it. I'll make sure I'm 100% and ready to represent the U.S. And yeah, we've got a really good squad going down there, so it's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Noah, this is also your chance to get in the Logan's mind, man. You get into his brain by you got to get really good at boomerang. You beat him at this race
Oh
today.
my
Now you
gosh,
got to get really good at boomerang. And really
I don't know, man.
I'm not teaching this guy to throw boomerangs. Are you kidding
I was
me?
nothing.
gonna say
Yeah.
after ending my run, remember when you gave me that boomerang and you
Yeah.
were like throwing it and it came right back to you. I went like the next day. I went out to like a field and I was like throwing it for hours. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, how does he do this thing? It was crazy.
It
But
takes
yeah,
a little
no,
bit of practice. There's
dude,
a
it's
couple tricks.
awesome.
There's a couple tricks to the trade that I've learned
Yeah,
over the years. But yeah, I'm sure I mean, this guy's an athlete all around, right? You see him on obstacles, you see him
Yeah.
running. I'm sure if I trained him to throw boomerangs, he'd be on the U.S. team in a year.
I don't
So
know.
he's that's actually not a bad idea. We might need to get you throwing boomerangs.
Hey,
You want
I'm
to go to
down.
Indonesia in 2 years?
Dude, I'm
That'd
down.
be kind of fun.
That'd be
All
sick.
right,
Yeah,
we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
it's awesome.
It just
I
can't
love
take away from your
yeah,
OCR
Indonesia
career. You
would be
still got to
cool
get
for
up to the
sure.
races. Yeah, for sure.
I like the have you ever had Indonesian food?
Oh my gosh, yes, it's spectacular.
It
It's
is.
clean.
I don't have any Indonesian
The
restaurants
spices
around
they
here.
use.
Supposedly, it takes a long time to make, and so there's not a lot of restaurants that can make a living like doing it on a mass scale.
Right, right. Yeah, last year I was able to make it down to Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam in November, and kind of did we were eating anything and everything, whether we recognized it or not. And I heard Indonesia, right, kind of not too far away
Yeah,
is
Southeast
even
Asia.
more unique, right? Yeah, they have some other you know some other stuff down there that I want to try. It should be fun.
There you go. You're braver man than me. I love Asian food, and my wife is Southeastern Asian, and there's still some
Sure.
lines that I won't cross. The Filipinos, they have this thing. It's a duck embryo. They call it balut, and
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's the
yeah. I've heard of that. Yes. Hmm.
it's a hard line. I won't cross it. I won't eat that. I'll eat everything else. I'm not eating the duck embryo. Say it's crunchy. No.
No, there's something about that. It's definitely not for vegans either, right? But
Yeah, for sure.
maybe
Very
I won't.
anti-vegan.
I'm not gonna. I don't plan to pack one up and bring it home for you either from Indonesia. I don't think they travel well.
Yeah. Man, I'm amazed we still haven't seen the other females coming through. We
Yeah, I saw
are
Corey
how
Sparks just came
long?
through.
Let's see how long are we into this race. Yeah, you guys must have been flying though. You absolutely killed it. You got done with it so fast. So is where you both train, is the train very much like this? Is a lot of southeastern Ohio hills? Because I thought it's normally flatter.
So yeah, so Ohio is pretty unique in that we kind of start the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So southeast Ohio is very very hilly. Even you could kind of probably throw the term mountainous in there, but they're just massive hills, right? It's really when you get into like Pennsylvania, down into West Virginia, obviously, right? We border Kentucky, West Virginia, Western Pennsylvania. Northeast Ohio has a bit more topography. Cleveland is kind of starting kind of the undulating hills that feed into the Appalachians. We have Cuyahoga Valley National Park just south of the city, between Akron and Cleveland. So there's some good training down there. It's a big river valley with some good climbs, and then the rest of Ohio is
Central Ohio is very flat.
pretty flat. Ohio, yeah, Columbus is very flat. Anything southwest or northwest of there, it gets pretty flat.
See, that's why I thought it was
Down
flatter. That's
south.
most of the experience I've had is in that Columbus. And other than time I went to Medford for King's Domain and OCR World Championships. Which I wonder if those obstacles, those permanent obstacles, are still out there. I think they were being removed or something. I don't remember. Have you guys been out there at all?
No, actually, that was before I even had started OCR. So I think I started after that, and it's a good question. I don't know if those obstacles are still sitting out there. I'm sure they're probably not in a very safe condition to try at this point, but it'd be cool if they were able to start that back up and get some more races. Get some more races in Ohio.
I totally forgot earlier. You mentioned Savage Race. You're right. They got a Savage Race coming up there soon. Are either of you? I guess Logan, you probably won't be able to make that schedule work, but Noah, you're definitely going to go do Savage.
Savage, Ohio is today actually, so they made us choose today.
Oh, it's today. Okay, same day. I did not know. Yeah. I thought it was next week. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that answers that question.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. I forgot that was today.
You got to stop putting these races on the same day, man.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to do all of them, and it makes it harder to support OCR in it as a whole, right? When they put the races on the same day, I mean, collectively, everyone in OCR says, "No, why?" I'm sure there's perfectly good logistical reasons as to why that is. Like these venues that have the property, maybe they have an event going on that same day, and someone else has procured the land before them, so this is the only day they can put on the race. I'm sure there's logistical, financial, and other reasons that we don't see, but you always want to see them like separate out the races so we can do all the races we want,
I think it's probably they probably just don't coordinate with one another, I mean, the other thing is who's going to concede, right? Who's going to concede and say, okay, we'll do it this weekend if you're going to do it that weekend, and they have to plan ahead, right? They should be planning the 2025, 2026 schedule now, and then, it'd be great if, I unfortunately, sometimes it feels like the smaller companies have to defer to the bigger companies when they set their race schedule and then have to decide from that. But sometimes those aren't scheduled until, January, February, March, right before those start popping up on the calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's an interesting dynamic because OCR is an industry, right? Like they don't make money on the elite wave, right? We're not where OCR makes money. They make money on the open waves. And a lot of the bigger brands, you have huge amounts of groups of people that will follow, say, a race brand around like Tough Mudder or Spartan or something. And they will, that's where the more of the money is. So like you're saying, they probably do have to defer to the larger races. And that's probably one of the reasons. At the end of the day, it's a business. And so that's got to take into account somehow.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not a nonprofit, and it's nice supporting something like WarX, right? That's actually raising money for veterans and doing some really good things out there. Not to say the Savage and Spartan stuff don't do that as well, but I think a lot of what's raised here, goes to support those those veterans. So I like to come out to this race. You know, we kind of had the choice between the two. I'm sure when I was looking at my schedule and deciding, I saw the Savage race too, but you know, I thought this is a good local race to support.
Yeah. Now you competed in, if I remember right, the Savage Series point series. What year before last?
Yeah, I didn't do the full series actually. I didn't do the full series. I did take 4th in the Spartan National Series, or in the you know, the elite, the North American Elite Series or whatever it was. You know, at the time was competitive before they moved to the 3K. So yeah, I finished 4th there. So I kind of focused on the Spartan stuff at the time. But of course, I'd always go to the Ohio Savage race because it was nearby, and Savage is a nice, you know, has a nice variety of obstacles too.
Have you thought about chasing their well, this year? So I think it's only like, say, 3 races. But did you think about chasing their point series and going after Kepson and what was our other friend?
Yeah.
Sean Rogers.
You know what? I might. Yeah, I actually might look at doing that. I actually might look at doing that next year. This year is a World Cup year for boomerang, so I really had to focus on the boomerang competition stuff. And then I did the Boston Marathon in April, and then I'm going to do the Berlin Marathon in September as well. So those are kind of my. I want to check off all the major marathons because it's just kind of a cool thing to do. You know, so I'll be doing that in September as well.
It's so cool. You cover the whole gambit. Most people specialize in, hey, you know, just OCR, maybe a little bit in Ninja, you know, but like you also like doing the marathons. Like that's such a huge difference from OCR and Ninja to 26.2 miles in a competitive setting that you have to qualify for. People don't realize just how fast you are to just qualify for big races like Boston.
Sure. Yeah. You know, yeah, I ran a 2:28 at Chicago last year, and 2:31 this year in Boston. And you know, it's something running is I've always been really passionate about running, right? Just pure running. I've loved trail running. You know, I was doing the obstacle stuff with Ninja Warrior, and that kind of brought me into OCR. So OCR is probably my favorite, you know, form of running and competition because it incorporates, you know, just all around fitness and you know, and it's just more fun. But I still like the idea of the marathon because, you know, when I'm training locally, right, I have a lot of competitive, you know, folks from Northeast Ohio that we train together with, and we can push each other, right, push each other to be faster. You know, there's always somebody to do a workout with. There's long runs on the weekend. We hold each other accountable. And I know it helps me, right? I know it helps in OCR and other things too.
Huge.
So I'll keep doing it, and you know, as long as I enjoy it, you know, I encourage everyone, just as long as you're doing what you love and not doing what you feel like you need to do or you're obligated to do, you know, just you know, you can't go wrong, right?
Yeah, that's a really cool distinction, actually. The idea of what you feel like you're obligated to do and what makes you happy. It's also this kind of dynamic, this dichotomy between training and life, because you have a profession as a job every day too, right? And it's especially as many different pots as you have on the fire, it's hard to prioritize those different things, and it's cool to see how I feel like you manage it really well. And I think you're right. As long as that intrinsic motivation is that one of wanting to enjoy it and have fun, I think it helps make that decision clearer, right?
Yeah. And with, you know, and Noah, I don't know if you've noticed, right? So Noah's 19, right? You know, and so Noah's figuring out like, hey, what is he going to do, right, for the rest of his life, and what's he passionate about? And then, you know, how do you balance that with, you know, everything else that you're passionate about, like OCR, things outside of your career and outside of work and stuff like that. And so, you know, so it's kind of cool that he's starting as early as he is in OCR, because I think he'll be able to strike an even better balance, right, and you know, pursue it in the right way.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It sounds cliche, Noah, but if you do what you enjoy to do for a living, it never feels like a job, man. It sounds very cliche and corny, but it's the truth. So I hope you find something you like to do as a profession. Well, hell, I hope you get to the point, and OCR gets to the point that people can do this for a living, and you can just be a professional OCR athlete. That'd be incredible too, right?
That'd be amazing,
we're just not there yet.
Yeah. That would be sick, but yeah, someday.
That's a dream for
Yeah.
sure. It'd be cool to see this kid in the Olympics one of these days.
That'd be
Yeah,
really cool.
it's
I'm
very
still
doable.
I'm still looking for
We haven't
any
seen
of the
the females
females come
come
through.
through.
Not yet. Not yet. You know what?
Yeah, I think we're.
That rig down there. You know, you have to. It's mandatory completion, and so
The eliminator.
the eliminator. Yeah, the eliminator may be.
Okay, that is mandatory completion.
You know,
They're through that for sure.
they're for sure through that. Okay. All right. I'm.
They're deep in
Yeah.
the woods. They should be coming out soon, I think.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably in the woods. I'm sure they're going to be coming through here. Not too long.
Okay, but you didn't recognize any of the females at the start line. You probably had you ever met Vivian Tran?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've met Vivian
know
in the
her?
past
Okay.
for sure. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I got
Do
to
you
catch up
recognize
with
any
her.
of the other females?
Obviously Kelly.
She wasn't
I
there.
didn't
Okay, I
get
didn't
a
see her.
chance. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to catch up with many others today though. So yeah, we'll have to see who else is here. Do you know what other like females are racing today? Do you have a list or anything?
I don't think we. I
You
don't
might have
think
a
we
list.
do.
Maybe not.
We had an idea of some previous ones, like I was mentioning earlier, the Kelly Sullivan and Aaliyah Imam and Elisa Orzaganowski. I'm probably messing up her last
Oh
name.
yeah.
And Jareen
Yep.
Klingberg.
Yep.
Yeah, Miles, the picture that I sent you, that's the one.
Those are definitely the 5 females. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's a hell of a course, right? And keep in mind too, it's really impressive. I think the job that Vivian's doing because I don't know if you've ever been here to North Texas, Logan, but it's just flat. It's flat. We don't even have hills,
yeah.
man. So
Oh yeah.
you actually have to come visit, man. You can always come stay with me if you want to come visit out here.
I was actually down in Dallas for the. Actually, I was there twice in the past couple months. You're in Dallas?
I'm Fort Worth, close enough. You didn't call me, man.
Fort Worth, yeah.
For shame.
Hey, you're right next
shame.
door. Right next door. I'm sorry. I was there for one was for a work thing, and then the other was I was there for the U.S. team trials for boomerangs. We actually had it at the University of Dallas East Campus or whatever. So
That's where I'm at too.
oh, you're over there? Oh, geez. All right. Well, all right. I'll be back. I'll be back in the winter.
Yeah. For sure, man.
That's
Come
a
on
good chance
down.
to get out of Ohio.
I'll drive you around. I want to see what those trials. I want to see what happens in that world. I'm fascinated. I'll be your groupie. I'll drive you around.
Hey, come check it out. Come check it out. Come check it out. They're handing out Rice Krispie treats over here. This is great.
That's a hell of a after a race snack. That's awesome.
That's perfect.
That's a
That's
first
exactly
too.
what I need right
I haven't
now.
seen another race with the zip line besides Spartacus Dash and now Rice Krispie treats. If you're on the fence about signing up for this race, right? They got Rice Krispie treats. It's OCR. What are you waiting for?
If that doesn't sell it right there, and sprinkles.
Oh
shoot,
my
I can't
gosh!
have your
And they got red, white, and blue sprinkles. Just come already.
Sprinkles
Can I
are
have
for
sprinkles?
sprinkles are for winners. These are for you. I
Oh,
can't
wait,
eat
what?
this. I can
No,
eat
you
this
got
today. Oh, you giving me permission? All right, I got permission. I got permission to eat the sprinkles.
Here we go. There's my beautiful girl. My daughter just walked in. Good morning, sweetheart.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Waiting
She
for the
racing yet?
top women to come through. I'm sorry?
I said, is she racing yet? You have her out training already?
No, she's got a condition that makes it harder for her to race. We were actually talking about Jason was talking about, some people need more electrolytes than others. There's certain people that have mitochondrial conditions in which their body doesn't produce ATP the way it needs along the electron transport chain, right?
Sure.
And this happens at a mitochondrial level. So we were talking about that earlier. So she can't quite do that. But my son, on the meantime, he likes to run, and I'm hoping to get him in there. And I still want to get her out. I still want to get we love to get the whole family out. We have a huge family, and we all show up at the races, and oh man, it's a blast. I'm looking forward. I'm signed up for Savage Race here in Dallas coming up soon. And
awesome.
Other than that, and then some high rocks. Have either of you gentlemen been had any want to get into the hybrid scene and maybe do a little high rocks?
I have been interested. I mean, I like seeing Rylan and all the stuff he posts about it. It has definitely piqued my interest. I think one of the big appeals of OCR though is that it's outside, and I don't think High Rocks has that appeal. But I'd love to try one at some point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I know. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I
Oh no, no,
interrupted.
no! I was just gonna say no. I was just gonna say I haven't I haven't done any of those yet. I haven't done like a Deca or High Rocks. Um, yeah, I think I at some point I will do one, but I haven't decided which one or when. But it probably won't be until next year when I when I'm not spread as thin as I am.
Yeah, for sure. You just haven't had that motivation to want to go do it, and that's fine. I know that we got a lot of hardcore OCR enthusiasts that are like, "Nah, I'm not interested in that style of hybrid stuff. I want to do. I like being outside. I like being on the trails. I just want to do OCR," and that makes sense. And I'm so glad we have that mentality too, because I don't want so many people to go to hybrid and whatnot that we lose focus on OCR, and we lose the ability for these companies that bring these races to make enough money to keep it going and keep OCR continually growing. Because I think that has been a bit of a slowdown.
Yeah, and it's definitely OCR is just so much it is just so unique. You can't replicate this, right? Not in an indoor environment.
Yeah.
The trails the trails are an obstacle, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And some of the water stuff and everything. It's pretty special. So I'm going to keep doing this for a while.
It's just not to mention, like, we get so caught up in our daily life that it's easy to just, even if you're not at work, be inside the house. Like, I have a big house with a big family. I got a lot of cleaning I have to do after this, right? I have a billion excuses to not go outside. And it's so nice that when you do get a chance to go outside, to go do these races, enjoy the fresh air, and just be out in nature and without the distractions and just be in the moment is, I think, just a wonderful experience.
Yeah, and I live in a city, and there's something about waking up out here super early in the morning, right before the sun's up or as the sun's coming up, and anytime you're in that environment, it just it's so nostalgic, right? It reminds you of all the other races you prepped for, and like all the other places you've been, like in that same with that same feel. So yeah, OCR is pretty awesome. It's getting I don't know if you hear that, but it's getting really windy out here now. I don't know if that's going to affect anybody on the obstacles, but it's
I bet that's nice though, because I saw the temperature was going up, not by much. At least the heat index last time before you guys crossed the finish line was at 92.
Yeah.
I think it was 80, 84, something like that regularly, but 92 on the heat index. So it's just incrementally increasing. So that little breeze, man, I bet is huge for you guys. There you go. We got it. Okay, it went up, not by a whole degree yet, but it feels like 92.9. It's at 80. It's at 83 degrees. It's hard to feel bad for.
I thought that
it's hard to feel bad for you guys here in Texas, man. It's like it feels like 108 yesterday, and the heat index was 108. It was 96 or 98 degrees.
I love when people say, "But it was a dry heat." Like that matters.
Yeah,
it's still 108 degrees. Like dry, humid. Like, oh man.
There's the flamethrower.
Oh, flamethrowers! Somebody lost a hat. Somebody lost a hat on the slide. Oh man, hat down. Oh nope, somebody went out and got it for him. That's classy.
Hey, do you guys feel like when it gets this hot, are you familiar with heart rate drift? It's the idea that the hotter it gets, the more it affects your heart rate. Do you guys feel that taking a toll on your heart rate?
I feel like the water helps.
The water did help.
I didn't feel the heat as much as I thought I would.
The water did help, and we were in the shade on the back half, which helped too.
Yeah, that is true.
We're in the woods.
As it started to get hot.
Where it's a little cooler and wetter back there. But it definitely, I mean, right now, it feels like there's a difference between right now and when we were out on the course. Because your heart rate, once it gets as hot, it will start kicking up, and you're not necessarily going any faster. You're just working a lot harder to keep yourself cool.
Yeah, and Noah, I noticed you didn't even attempt trying to do the balance beam on the rig on the water, you just swam right across. You just jumped in right across. I bet that felt really good. And at first, I thought that was going to be the fastest way to get through. If that was totally legal, that's definitely the fastest way to get through. But I saw another gentleman way back in the pack. Man, he ran across it. And I was like, okay, maybe that is the fastest way. But just that cooling
I'm wondering
down,
if that was
right?
Ryan. Yeah. The guy have the ponytail.
Logan, did you walk across? Did you balance beam across, or?
Yeah, I just walked across.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But although, jumping in the water might have been refreshing.
Yeah,
Maybe
for
I should
sure.
have done that.
Yeah.
The water,
Cooling
the water here is, well, some of the ponds are cleaner than the others, in terms of algae.
That's true. We're going right back through that one, though.
Not that that matters for me, but
Yeah.
I think I'm cleaner coming out of any of this water anyway.
For sure.
Yeah.
Pond water is never appetizing. I'm curious as to how many people have a hard time with the obstacle that has the culverts that go into the water, and you have to completely submerge yourself, and it's dark in there.
Yeah.
That's probably got to be a bit of a mental challenge for a lot of people. Like, are either of you slightly claustrophobic? Do you know people that have a real hard time with that obstacle? What's that like?
I actually become claustrophobic. Not so much in a race setting, but I will be claustrophobic. What did you think of the one that went into the water?
I was gonna say the one that went into the water. It's pretty spacious. It's not that bad. The rope was just annoyingly out of reach on the way out.
Me too.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's right there, and trying to reach it.
And you're slipping to try to.
Yeah.
You're climbing up.
You're slipping.
It's a smooth internal tube.
Yeah.
So you don't have the ridges where you can climb up.
Yeah.
And so you're just kind of flopping around, trying to get some traction to get up to the rope so you can get out.
I was wondering. Yeah. Which one did you go through? Did you go through the right or left?
Left.
Left. Okay, me too. So same one. Yeah. The tube after that, though, I got claustrophobic in that one.
People can't tell in the video as much that it's just kind of ribbed on the inside. People tend to think that it's the same way on the outside, but on the inside, you're right. It's fairly smooth, but it's ribbed, right? There's a little ripples, but not enough to get a whole lot of grip. And then you're afraid of sliding back down.
But
yeah, maybe there's some slight
it's pretty much
variation in there, but it's very smooth in there.
Nothing you can put a hand on.
Nothing you can really nothing you can get fingertips onto or anything,
Yeah.
I thought that made it really challenging. And then right after that, there was I think the more claustrophobic area was a smaller tube that is built into the hill. So you have to, and it's dark because they have like a rubberized flap that you have to go through to get in, and it blocks the light. And then you're in a tube about, probably about yay wide.
There's just enough
Yeah.
room
You
to
have
fit
to-
my quad
Yeah,
in there.
and you can't really you can't crawl through. You kind of have to inch your way through. And I'm a pretty small guy. You're a pretty small guy. He and I should be able to get through there pretty efficiently, but it was even tough for us. So it was it was pretty interesting.
I think we might have the first place female coming through. I don't know if you guys can recognize her there on site. She has the American flag top. I'm not sure. I wonder if the other ladies are stuck on an obstacle, on a mandatory completion, because I really thought they'd been through the finish line by now. Let's see if we can get an idea of who our first place female is coming through here.
All right, let's take a look.
Yeah, if we can cut over to that. See, she's past all of this.
Yeah, she's coming through.
She's past all this. She should be coming up.
Oh, here she comes. Yes.
A-frame.
She just went over the A-frame, and now she's coming up the tube. With they have some rock climbing holds in these tubes to get up to the top.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna zip on down. Let's see who it is.
Can you still smell the ammo, by the way, the gunpowder?
Oh yeah, you can smell the gunpowder for sure. Yeah, coming through here. It reminds
It's one
me
of
of
the things
my
we miss
childhood.
out from not being there in person. Is it kind of
Yeah.
getting the environment? I'm so glad Jason didn't mention that earlier. It shows you how kind of effort they put. That's a lot of money they
Here she
spend on
comes.
ammo.
Coming
and all that.
through. Woo! Nice. Wow.
Do we know who she is?
Or
I don't recognize it. Do you know?
I don't recognize
We'll
her.
find out. We're
No, we
gonna
don't
find
know.
out.
Okay.
Hang on one second. I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
We'll have to figure out and find out her name. Maybe she can bring us up to date too, as far as hey, what happened on the Vivian and the second place. They had quite a way. They must be stuck on an obstacle at this point. Vivian and the second place. Had quite a way.
Logan's going to see who it is.
Okay.
Our camera messed up right there. Not died. Messed up. Logan's going. And then who it is?
Okay.
I was hoping Charity would come back, and then she went the other way to catch the next.
Yeah, we missed the finish line. This is the finish line.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to this amazing female that took first place just now.
Logan's chatting with her.
Let's go, Evan!
Here comes Vivian. Looks like.
Here comes Vivian. She's power hiking the hills. She's waving. She's obviously spent.
Yeah. All right, guys. First place female was Chanel Berg, and she's actually from Montana. So she's all the way out
wow.
here from Montana. So yes, yeah, pretty amazing.
That kind of goes
Great.
what you and me were talking about earlier, right, Logan? That more people are
Right.
coming from further away to this localized race.
Yeah,
Right,
they're
sure.
they're figuring it out. They're the secret's out. WarX is the place to be.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Did she mention if people were caught up on an obstacle earlier?
No, she didn't. She just mentioned how
Okay.
delirious she felt right now. But
Yeah, that's
I'll
fair.
see
She
if I can
just
get her
crossed the
over here.
finish line and we jumped on her.
Yeah, we'll let her get something to drink. I was like, state your name, state your hood. And she was like, what?
I did it for my mama, for my hood.
Hey, actually, you guys want me to put her on? She's here.
Yeah, sure. You can really hear the wind now. You can tell it just how you can see the flag flapping really hard, and you can hear the wind. So the
Oh,
wind is
you can
definitely
hear a lot of wind?
picked up.
So maybe we can
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
we
you
can
can-
try to block the wind a little bit like that. Is that better?
No, that's better.
That-
That's better. But no, I'm just
Okay.
saying you
All right.
can tell how the wind is picked up so much than from before.
Okay. All right. Chanel Berg is here from Montana. First place female.
Hey,
Oh.
congratulations, Chanel.
Hey, thank you.
How'd you hear about this race? What made you want to come all the way to Ohio from Montana?
Well, I came last year, and actually, it was like in the winter. My mom saw an ad on Facebook with a flamethrower, and she's like, "You should do that because there's flames and explosions." And so we came last year, and it was awesome.
That's all.
I
Yeah,
came back this
that
year.
would get
Yeah.
me motivated too.
I know, right?
It's the old adage when we were younger, right? Your parents would say, "Hey, would you if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you?" And
Oh,
most
yeah.
kids would say no, but every OCR athlete would say, "Yeah, is there a medal and a shirt at the end?" Hell yeah, I'm jumping off
Yeah,
that. And then
right?
you're gonna add explosions and flamethrowers. Hell
Even
yeah.
better.
Yeah. I just want to know how you get that job, right? How you get the flamethrower job, because I came here the first time because of the flamethrower, but I thought I'd get to use it.
Me too.
And so
Yeah.
far they have not let me touch the flamethrower, probably for
Yeah.
safety purposes.
I feel like there should be some sort of flamethrower privileges for the people who podium. Should be one of the reasons you want a podium. You get to shoot the flamethrower at some point.
We should shoot the flamethrower on the podium.
They should give you a
So-
flamethrower for winning. Good luck
Yes.
getting that on. Tell them it's a personal item when you fly back to Montana.
I think I can check it. I don't know.
So Chanel, have you been doing OCR for a long time? How long have you been in the sport?
Actually, I'm relatively new. I started in 2022. I did my first Spartan, and in Montana, and I did like a couple Spartans that year, went to the World Championships, because why not, right? And
Yeah, for sure.
and so then I started last year. I went like a little harder. This year, I actually decided in the spring I should give a shout out to Grit Coaching with Jess and Faye. I started coaching. They started coaching me in April, and really upped my running game a lot. I'm still not a super strong runner, but obstacles are really my jam. So I'm getting better at the running.
Yeah, Faye Stenning is absolutely amazing. I've interviewed her for many years, and I haven't talked to her in a while. But her and the other lady she works with are both awesome athletes in their own right and fantastic coaches. So shout out to them. That's fantastic, and obviously paid out for you today. Congratulations!
Yeah.
It seemed like Vivian, our second place female, she just crossed Vivian Tran. It looked like she was leading the vast majority of the race. At what point did you pass Vivian?
I think it was on Eliminator maybe, and then I can't remember really, but she ran ahead of me all last year. You beat me everywhere.
Speaking of Vivian, look who we have here.
We're bringing her in.
Come on over. I'm going to go ahead and give her my headset because I'm sure people are tired of listening to me talk. So,
Logan, we love talking to you, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, see you guys. Great seeing you. Thanks so much.
Brother.
Thanks for doing this. All right, bye, guys.
Hey.
See you guys.
Hey everyone.
The lovely Vivian Tran, North Texas favorite. So take us through the race. You led most of the race, and then Chanel here passed you, maybe on the eliminator. Where did she pass you? What happened at that last part of the race?
I wasn't anticipating a second low rig, and actually that was the only one where I had to retry again. I held on too long to one of the straps, and I took way too long on eliminator. I think I was just trying to get my heart rate down. But I think I was getting a confidence boost that, hey, you're in first. But I don't know. The sense of urgency wasn't there.
I never seen you stop. I never seen you stop and get water, and you stopped and got water several times. And I think you let up off the gas, and then Chanel comes up from the backside. Man, she gets it. I guess do you have more hills and mountains over there in Montana, where your location in Montana, Chanel?
Yeah, it's pretty hilly. We're like a mile high, so I think that helps a little bit. When you go to somewhere like Mammoth or Big Bear, you kind of lose your air, but here I feel like I have a little more. It's just training at a little more elevation, I think, is helpful.
Yeah. Do you get good obstacle training? These obstacles are very difficult. The first time you seen these obstacles, Chanel, was last year, obviously, at the same race. Do you train obstacles there in Montana? Do you have a ninja gym? Because I know Grit trains you on the running and whatnot, but what experience do you have training obstacles?
We don't have a ninja gym. I live out in rural Montana, we're an hour from a town with a Walmart. So I have a squat rack, a lot of just upper body strength. I don't know, I think it's always been fun for me to play around on ropes. I hang a rope up in our shop, and I just kind of makeshift that part, and then just try to do a lot of it, and a lot of grip strength and a lot of upper body.
Yeah, that's impressive. These obstacles are really hard, and you got by on just kind of making up your own upper body stuff, and just kind of being spatially aware and working on your grip, and just kind of being intuitive is what it sounds like. Because I know Vivian, she actually trains a lot at ninja gyms. And Vivian, I was actually bragging about you earlier about the amount of work you put into your training is second to none. You put in a tremendous amount of time into your training, and you don't. It's easy to neglect grip training, but you don't do that.
I don't. It's really such the challenge being an OCR athlete, because sometimes it flips. I think I was a stronger runner in like previous years, and then my obstacle proficiency I needed to catch up, and now I feel like it's flipped again because, man, the running here was.
Yeah, it's 1,700 feet of gain,
Right.
Vivian.
It was the hills up and down. I was so over the last trail part. It was the slosh pipe. I was so over that.
I was just so scared. You were right there. I was like, just kept telling my legs,
Oh my
you
gosh.
have to go. You have to go.
No, I saw Chanel crossing the pipe at Maximus, and I was already going through the tunnel that's underwater. Man, and so she put on the gas there, because she definitely caught up to me when I took too much time on Eliminator. And it wasn't that I lost my grip. I just felt like, I just kind of felt nervous. I felt like I needed to get my heart rate down. But
I got nervous when I saw you come back around. I was like, oh, shit. I'm never going to get this.
Oh, man.
I just didn't want to get stalled out partway. Like,
I felt like I lost steam at the last mile. Like, I don't think I was anticipating how long it was going to be, because my watch said 7.9 miles at the finish. I was like, I don't know if I had enough energy. I was like, oh, no more hills.
Yeah, the hills were
brutal.
They were brutal.
Yeah. But
yeah, for
no,
sure.
I
mean, we just don't have that here in North Texas, right, Viv? That's a way out of your comfort zone. Yeah, for sure. But was it?
But I feel.
Hey, did that one obstacle where the culverts go under the water and they come back over, and then also the culvert one where it's in complete darkness and it's very long? Did that get you guys mentally at all? Did that phase you?
No,
No.
I didn't phase me.
No.
I'm small enough to where like the top of the pipe barely like grazed me, so I just took my time. That was actually my resting period there.
Same, and the water felt so good on those culverts.
Oh my gosh. The thing about this race, and I saw this in Barbarian, I did Barbarian Challenge 2 weeks ago, is that I knew the top females were all going to be obstacle proficient. It really is just like we have to save time by our running, and like who's going to like hit the hills harder and the downhills.
Yeah.
And so that's why Chanel, you definitely deserve to win.
Well, I have to like,
harder.
It's all, I mean, Jess and Faye have like put me through hills.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just been brutal. Like my dogs won't even do hills with me anymore. So, although they still felt awful here, I guess it paid off.
It definitely paid off for you, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah. It's so funny. You see the other OCR athletes, they have these dogs that they can take on their runs with them, right? Yeah. And I have yet to find a dog that can do that with me. I'll be like, oh, I want to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. And then like 2 miles in, the dog stops and is like overheating. And it's like, where are these dogs? How do they get these animals that can do that? I know Vivian has cats. I can see her out there taking the cats to the to the hills.
No, that was me just stopping. I was just trying to get my heart rate down. That's how I was feeling. Oh man.
Yeah, amazed I didn't see you power hiking more. Usually, Chanel, did you power hike at all? I know along those hills. Obviously, you can't run them all, right? They're very hard. Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see any of the ladies power hiking with their hands on their knees. I saw some gentlemen do it.
I was doing it, but I don't think anybody was around.
Yeah, I think actually it wasn't these hills that was the hardest part for me. I think what slowed me down the most was when we were in the creek area with all the cargo nets, because I was just like, when is this going to end? I don't see obstacles. Did I take a wrong turn? And so that's, I think I kind of pussyfooted like the creek area. I was worried about slipping. So I think that ate up a lot of time.
I wasn't super fast through there. I was also worried about, it's like if I slip and, that's like just going to cost a lot of time.
You were gone after slosh pipe. I was like, I don't know where I'm going to catch her.
I was just terrified. I knew you were right behind me. No, it was good, but yeah.
Do we know who the third place female is by any chance?
No idea.
I wasn't familiar
No
with you,
idea.
Chanel. Do we know who third place is?
Yeah, did you see anybody behind you?
Uh-uh.
No, I was terrified when I saw you at low rig. I was like, ah, man. And then when I had to start over, that would have been a really interesting race at that point. If we had gone off at the same time,
I couldn't have kept up.
Yeah, I spent too much time after it was the dowel rods on the rope, and then there was that handlebar. I was stuck facing the wrong way, and it took so much energy to turn around and get on that platform, so I had to redo it.
Yeah, that first low rig.
Yeah.
The first low rig was interesting, ladies. Did you? I saw the men at the very least. There's a blue bar, and they were putting their feet on the blue bar while you traverse. Is that's legal? You're allowed to do that? You guys did that too? I don't know.
You know, I read on the I wanted to just like go through it like a low rig, but I read on the instructions to put your feet on the pipe, and plus it was a lot lower than what you would see at like other OCRs with low rigs. So yeah, no, you were supposed to traverse with the pipe with your feet.
Okay, yeah. And did the second low rig also have that?
It had a traverse pipe in the beginning, kind of like Spartan on multi-rig. And then it was just like handle to dowel rod rope to other handle to the platform. And so I think that transition got a lot of people trying to get on that platform before you get on the PVC pipe to slide down. That's what got me.
I mean, your arms were my arms were shot.
Mine were.
Like to lift up to try to get that platform with my feet were. It was a one-time shot, and
I can't imagine. We got third place female is fixing to come through. She's coming up to the A-frame. Oh, cool. I'm not sure what this lovely young lady's name is. I don't know her, but hopefully we'll get a name when she crosses. That's fantastic. Yeah, I wish I knew more of these local athletes. Chanel, it's been wonderful meeting you as well, by the way. I apologize for not knowing your name beforehand.
Well, I'm relatively new, and so no worries. I ran the age group Spartan
wait a
last
second.
year. Was kind of my first.
Over the top. You were in the Spartan age group series?
Yes.
Were we in the same age group?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like always trying I was like, my goal is like, okay, I just want to creep a little closer to Vivian because you just rocked every one of them, and I was like, that's my idol.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice to see you.
You did.
Really cool.
You beat the idol.
Yeah.
You beat your idol.
I didn't want to beat you. I just wanted
That's amazing. The age group series last year was a really special race. That was tough.
Yeah.
And I felt like I wasn't prepared for this elevation gain. I wasn't. I think mentally I was prepared for the age group series last year, knowing how difficult this is going to be, but that was tough.
Yeah.
But the obstacles were so much fun. I was actually really surprised about Maximus. That was the 2 double rig.
That was fun and scary.
The first time I got on the knotted rope, I thought I could swing and get to the ring. And then I was immediately tugged back. So I didn't realize I had to climb it and then try to get the ring. So, but I saw your method of getting across the culvert. And I think that's probably where I lost time too, because I was just lightly shuffling, don't fall up. But you were
my legs were shaking so bad.
Yeah.
That I was like, if I tried to stand up, I was so wobbly. So I was thought maybe I could frog hop it.
That was smart. That was really smart. How long did it take you to get through Eliminator? Did you take a break in every section, or did you just go?
Well, I stopped and tried to take like 3 breaths just to try to get my heart rate a little bit under control. But I'll get in my head a little too much if I stop too long. So I just had to take 3 breaths and then go on 3 breaths.
Smart.
And go. Because I've got that one with the water. What's it called? Where you're jumping from the pipes to the water.
Oh, yeah, Dragon's Back?
Dragon's Back. That one,
it took you some time.
I'll get in my head. So I just have to jump and not even think.
Yeah.
Because I'll get in my head about it.
That's smart. Yeah, I took way too much time in Eliminator. If I had to think about where I could have saved more time, it would have been Eliminator. It would have been I don't know, the runs to Eliminator. like to Decagon. I felt really good at Decagon. What did you think about that one?
I got a little. I was kind of slow. I didn't do that one super well.
Did you have to retry?
No, but like I rolled back a couple times,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
didn't like I was a little afraid to like fully commit, and then I realized I just had to kind of like give all my weight to it. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, because like I rolled back twice, and then it's like like starting
good job
over.
hanging on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Did
yeah,
we-
that's where
did
I
we
saw
get the name
you.
for the third place female that just crossed, by the way? Do you guys know who that is? She just crossed.
Oh, she's
I don't know if
coming.
you can get it.
Hey.
First. Yeah.
Hey,
we
Jeannie,
all
right? You're, man, good job.
Chanel. Nice to meet you.
8:30.
Yeah. What was her name? Her name is Jeannie. What's her last name?
My last name?
Hey, Jeannie.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the show. Congratulations. You got the podium. You did
Hi.
it. Third place female.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so something special about her because we actually met yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that we're both coached by Rich Ryan.
Go Rich!
Oh, okay.
Reinforced running!
Conflict of interest.
Well, that's great. Jeannie, what's your last name again? I'm sorry, so everyone knows.
It's Orend, O-R-E-N-D.
Oren, okay, Jeannie Oren. All right,
Oren,
well there you
yeah.
go in frame, man. We got our top 3 ladies
Nice.
right there.
Good job.
Shireen,
Thank you too, man.
yeah, Sharon,
Good job.
yeah, Sharon Borg there. Borg, I believe is the last name. First place, second place Vivian Tran, and then followed right here by Jeannie Oren.
Orend, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
We were
Oren,
talking about
congratulations.
obstacles.
Are
We were
you
talking about.
from? Oh no, I'm sorry. Go
continue,
ahead,
Miles.
Vivian.
No, we were just talking about Chanel and I were just talking about where we slowed down, what obstacles, what are some things that we could have done better. And for me, it was all the hills.
I just try to keep moving. Yeah, there were some times I can feel myself going a little too fast, like in my heart, and I'm like, you're gonna bonk out. So I kind of just try to slow it down, and then anytime I felt good, I went with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, the course is awesome. I mean, up and down, up and down, up and down. But it's just, this is a great race. This last year was the first time I did it, and I'm like, I'm coming back to this every year.
How did you feel the difference between last year and this year? I was curious about that.
Honestly, I think last year Eliminator was a little harder.
Yeah. Some people the guys that were on Eliminator, they're like, what is this, easy mode? And I was like, oh man.
Yeah, last year's setup was definitely more challenging with the way that they had the pegs and
Yeah, I already saw that.
Yeah, but so yeah, I don't know, I had a clean race, so it was trying to just go. You know what? I got stuck on the stupid barrels. The barrels. You're short.
I committed to that. Yeah,
So
I had
that's
to get the
on the
barrels.
low rig. Yeah, like I have to like get it spinning and then try to jump myself over that because like those I don't have a lot of ups.
Right.
So,
I was that's where Chanel caught me after the barrels, the second low rig.
yeah.
I had to actually retry because I took too long after the dowels on the rope. And whenever there was that handle, that suspended handle, I was backwards.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of effort to get on that platform. So I had to retry
I
that.
got you. Yeah, I actually on one of the hangs, I was able to kind of sit on it.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
what I
there you
did.
go. No, I like I said, I'm super happy with how the race went. So it's a good one. It's a
Yeah,
very good
man,
one.
you did so well.
Yeah, you too. Absolutely.
Yeah, are you Jeannie? Are you from Ohio? Are you from this area?
I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, so like about 40 minutes from Pittsburgh. I went to USA OCR Belgium last year for age group, and I run for
cool.
Phoenix race. Yeah, Julie and them. Julie and
Oh,
Pat.
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I've never ran into you before. We've been in the OCR world.
I
You've been doing OCR for a while now. Amazed we haven't got a chance to run into each other. There's not a lot of major races in Pennsylvania, I find, right? I know. Of course, Spartan has a race there. Are there other major races that hit Pennsylvania?
Honestly,
Bone Frog there ever?
Brown Frog's not this day forward
Yeah.
this year. So I do some traveling. I go down to Atlanta and I'll do a Savage in the winter just to break it up. Frontline is a must. That's probably the hardest race
Oh yeah.
that I've done. So I'm always going to those. Just Ohio, anything that I can kind of get around to where it's not too expensive. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, the travel is probably the most expensive part. But then you get these really cool experiences. Like you can't get WarX at some of the bigger brands, right? Like this is a very unique event. And I'm so
it's
jealous. I
fantastic.
wish I could have been there with you guys.
Yeah,
But you
I
chose
recommend
well.
everybody. Thank you. Yeah, it's a great race. It really
This is a really unique race. This actually, Miles, this reminds me of Battle of the Lions, like on steroids. Like this
There's
is.
Yubi!
Man.
Yubi came across. Everybody knows.
Oh,
Yubi.
nice. Yeah, he's a local legend there.
Yes.
We were
Indian Mud
talking
Run
about
was
Hoogie
another.
earlier.
Oh my gosh. Again, that's one that I'm really.
I missed out on Indian Mud Run, unfortunately.
Again, it was a fantastic race. I'm sad to see it done.
Uh-huh.
But like you said, I'd love to try to find the ones that are difficult, that challenge you, because that's I think how you get better. So.
Yeah, mandatory. I think you maybe like you said you like frontline as well too. So I'm guessing you like the mandatory completion races as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's an obstacle course race. It's not, it's obstacle course. Get the obstacles in, and yeah, definitely mandatory. I think that's essential.
I know. I feel like I have a respect for both, like Mox and Spartan, because Spartan does keep me sharp on my running.
I'm sure.
And I mean, I get it. Everyone talks about that Spartan is a runner's race, but it's advantageous to be a fast runner in Mox. Because if all of us are obstacle proficient, I have to run faster.
Absolutely. I mean, you got it. Running is most of the game, and then it's obstacles.
So, yeah, I mean, like doing the Spartan National Series this year, doing it last year, I think it just helps me become more well-rounded.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, the more you're out there, the more you're turning your feet, and the more you're playing with stuff, the better you're going to do. So, and you learn.
Yeah, just getting outside and being able. We were talking about that earlier. It's so easy to be stuck inside. I know, Vivian, you're another professional as well. Jeannie, I'm not sure what you do for a living, but Vivian and I both work in the same industry and we're stuck inside. I'm sorry, what do you do, Jeannie?
I'm a phys ed teacher, being a trainer, that kind of stuff, yeah.
Okay, okay, nice. So you get out, you probably get out more than Vivian and I get a chance to, but even then, hey, you're still rigid schedule, hey, work is work. And it's so nice to just be able to get out here and be in the moment, right? And kind of just breathe in the fresh air.
Summers off, summer's like I get in as much racing as I
Don't downplay my training, Miles. I get out. I will make sure that my training is happening even when I travel for work.
Yeah,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
no, I'll be teasing you about that Rice Krispie treat you're eating. Gee, well, I'm really curious now to what Jeannie puts her kids through. What kind of training those kids do in PE and gym class? And you got an OCR athlete as a coach.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, yeah, they work. They work.
I could see those permission slips. Is it okay for your child to take a sandbag up a hill? We'll be doing
climb the rope,
burpees.
don't look down.
That's right.
Just
Farmers
climb the rope,
carrying.
keep going. I always tell them, I said, what goes up must come down, and you better not let go. There's no mat, I'm not saving. Get up there.
Yeah, that's my kind of hashtag my PE teacher. That's my kind of trainer right there. I'm also very biased. So I know we had never done. We don't have an obstacle like the decagon. Vivian, you were really nervous about jumping on the decagon, but it looked like that's fairly simple. And of course, Jeannie, you did it. You obviously did it last year, right? So you knew what to expect on that. But Vivian, how was
Oh, sorry, interrupted you.
No.
How was it?
How would the decagon go for you?
It went really well. I went for the smallest one.
Yes.
It was staying slowed and controlled was the way to go. I've seen people try to just kind of like wheel themselves through just to kind of like get through it as fast as possible, but it took a lot of restraint. I'm glad that mine went uphill because I think if it decided to go downhill, it probably would have gone chaotic. No, it was just being patient. I mean, that's how I treated Eliminator too. I mean, like a lot of these obstacles, I don't know, probably just mind games, right? I think like a lot of us have the grip strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about Decagon. I was nervous about it just because it was a new obstacle.
I think for Decagon, the smaller ones were definitely better for females. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
And you can move it a little bit easier. I know last year I had so much trouble just trying to get it to move, and then once it did move, you can't control it. So like when I did the small one, I kind of stayed low, and as soon as I got it to roll, I gave it a little bit of a pushback so that it didn't roll on me, and then just one step at a time, just kind of did that. As soon as it turned, kind of pushed back a little bit to get it from, you know, not going crazy, and I just did one step at a time.
I saw in previous years, because all I was based off of photos and videos, is that y'all had to hit the bell. There was like a 10-foot bell, but they said that it didn't work last year because I guess a lot of people couldn't like reach it
on Decagon.
Yeah, or was it? Or did you have the ground stopper?
I can't remember. Decagon last year, I think it was just 90 degrees, and then yeah, you came back. I can't remember. Maybe there was the bell. I honestly don't remember. I know there was a bell last year on Dragons.
Oh, I saw that.
And then
I was
like
gonna be nervous about it.
No.
Yeah, like don't jump far enough. Yeah, I was worried about that.
They took that like out. Like they said, once you get through, you just had to jump off because the bell, like somebody smacked it and it just rolled, and it's like up there and nobody's getting that down. So they took the bell out this year. So it's a
I was surprised that no one got stuck on Dragon's Back. I've seen a lot of people they freeze on top of Dragon's Back, and that doesn't look like to be the case at all today, right? No one was stuck up there.
No, but I think the last platform, I think it was farther.
It was.
Yeah, I think like that one could have been mind games for a lot of people because I was like, ooh, I gotta put some force into this.
And the first time I did it, like a Dragon's Back, was at OCR. It was either Norms or World Championships, and that was the first time I ever did something like that. And I was frozen. Like I kind of was like, oh, you know, and it's like one of those. It's like a box jump, you know what I mean? Like when you get a high box jump, you're, but then once you do it, you just get more confident. You just kind of go, and actually, the faster you go, the better it is.
The first time I've ever done Dragon's Back, it's called Glacial Leap, and I did it at Abominable Snow Race. So if I can do it on ice with snow, I was just like, this is fine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
No, that didn't. I don't think that slowed anybody down.
I think maybe people were freezing on it initially when that obstacle first came out because people weren't so used to it. But now that it's been around for a while, maybe it's not as mentally scary, right?
Yeah.
And that's causing that. But it was nice they had sections that you could rest on the Eliminator on the uphill rig. What's interesting, though, Viv, I don't think you and me have ever done a rig that is uphill. Like, let's look at 8% grade incline, right? That was interesting. When I first saw pictures of it, I thought, normally you do the rig at a decline. But the uphill, that does add a little bit of, I think, intimidation, a little intimidation effect to it that we don't really talk about a lot.
I don't know if that, like, affected...
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, I didn't feel it. I think maybe at, like, balancing, like, all right, okay, I gotta go up. But, no. Because I, like, at the Ninja Gym that I go to, like, they have donuts that go up. And so I practice higher reaches. I think the only one that maybe could have gotten a lot of people was there were the 4 ropes, and then you had to get the T-bar. So that was a little bit higher. I think you had to pull and shoot a little bit more on that one. But other than that, yeah, I didn't feel it, Miles.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
The incline, I think it's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fun.
It was just tiring afterwards. Like, oh god, I gotta go uphill again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I one of the things I like about this. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Nope. No, go ahead.
One of these things I really liked about the race is that it had a psychological effect to a couple of different things. Like we were mentioning earlier, the tube going in the water, climbing up the culvert inside the dark. I think a lot of this has a psychological effect to it that I don't think that it seems to be intentful, right? Like they did that on purpose. And I don't think a lot of other races try and implement that into it. I think most races just try to think, hey, we're gonna use grit. Mental grit is getting through it. Physical and mentally is the hardest part, but not adding that fear factor. Can you guys think of any other races that do that?
Conquer the Gauntlet, I think, has something similar, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's climbing up a culvert. I think it's called Lion's Den, but it's nowhere near as long. Yeah, this was probably like 3 times as long as Lion's Den. I could see it affecting some athletes that are definitely like claustrophobic, but I think it was probably harder for men, to be honest, just because like it's harder for them to squeeze. So whenever we're going up the rope, they had to just continue sliding, whereas I could just actually crawl up, and it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what a cool slide too. I was kind of hoping to see the flamethrowers out on the slide. I saw a video of them shooting the flamethrowers as you go down the slide. 350 feet. Did you guys feel like you got a lot of air off the end of that, or?
Okay, first of all, I did not see flamethrowers throughout this entire race, so I was a little disappointed in that. But second, my back hit the water so hard, I was just like, oh, this is. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. I was just like, man, you're going so fast on that slide.
I got crushed on the slide. So like, at first I wanted to go on the one that doesn't have as much of the up at the end. So
I went on the left slide.
And so he's like, well, you got to wait for them. I'm like, I don't want to wait. So I went to the other one. I'm like, all right, here we go. And I went on my butt. And I'm trying to keep myself forward. Next thing you know, I'm like, I laid back and I'm going sideways. Halfway down, I smacked my head like on the side part, which righted me backwards. And I came off backwards. And then, like I said, you don't know when the water's going to hit it. It was like, I was like, holy moly. I'm like, all right, I got through that one. But that was ugly. Yeah. But fun.
I think the other hard part of that is that when you come down that slide, right, you can see the festival area. You can hear and see the festival area. But you're nowhere near done.
You are nowhere near
usually done. At races, right, when you see the festival, you're like, oh, I'm almost done. You can push a little harder. Not this race. You still have to keep that mental momentum going to keep pushing. You're still a couple miles away.
Yeah, I kept telling myself, I'm like, hear the music. When you hear the music, I'm like, I still don't hear the music.
I know. Because after Slosh Pipe, there were a lot of heavy carries at the end of the race. And then you're just going into the creek and trail part with all the cargo nets, like I mentioned with Chanel. And it's just like, I don't know if I took a wrong turn because this thing is going on forever. So I think that was kind of more of a mental challenge because you're just like, you kind of anticipate that it's going to be a 10K or at least around that. But it ended up being closer to 8 miles, at least what it said on my watch.
My watch died.
Oh, okay. So, I think
what was the distance you got, Vivian?
I got like 7.9.
What's the distance?
It's
7.9. So Jason did it yesterday and he had 7.02. So that's quite the difference.
Maybe I'm like running not the tangents and I'm like going wide. But I don't know. My watch is just not as like accurate as his. But
I think depending upon the watch and your system too, they kind of calculate.
How bad was the ammo can carry through the rolling hills? That looked really difficult.
No, none of the heavy carries were heavy besides Slosh Pipe.
Slosh Pipe was annoying.
I don't know if Slosh Pipe were different sizes, but I had a point whenever I was trying to hold it like this, it pulled on my right shoulder, so I had to just like carry it like a rocket launcher. That one actually was the most annoying carry.
I thought Slosh Pipe was challenging.
Yeah, that one actually was really challenging.
Well, we don't usually train with a slosh pipe. What was the last time? I don't know of any race ever. The closest thing I can think of to something like that, I don't know if you guys remember a Green Beret Challenge. Do you guys remember that? And they had a yoke.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have a bar across here like this and buckets or sandbags on this side. And it would be really hard to move. Like you think that slosh pipe is hard. Now, granted, I've never carried the slosh pipe you guys are carrying, but it was extremely difficult. You just couldn't go very fast at all with it. But what an interesting little thing for them to throw in. And I heard the slosh pipe carry was pretty darn long.
That was the worst obstacle. Like I was over that. What were we gonna say?
I did a race in Erie where they had a slosh pipe and you had to hold it out. It was kind of like a fitness / obstacle. You had to like a snatch, top of snatch, and then you had to do lunges to a point, and then you lunged back.
Wow.
So that was one of I was like, that was super hard because you had to hold it in this position. And then that race also, that's a good race. They don't have it anymore. But that race also had 2 where you had to carry. You had barbells with weights on both ends. You had both 2 hands, and you had to go through and snake around. And that was another one because you were trying to balance the barbells. But
I think pipes are hard. I think the most effective strategy that worked for me, like halfway after I was just like, I can't take this with my right shoulder anymore, I balanced the slosh pipe on my left shoulder, and because we were going uphill, like I let the water stay in the back and I kind of balanced it here, so it was always balanced on my shoulder, and I don't think that felt as bad.
On the uphill, I actually had it in front, kind of leaning down, so the weight was in the front,
carried it,
so pushing me forward, and then I had the end of it secure between my head and my so that was, and then instead of using my grip on it, I kind of looped my arm around it. So it's like a form was securing it, and that keeping the slosh, the weight close to your body.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Me versus pulling me back.
That's what I did with bucket carry and the ammo carry. Like I just held it like a football and just went with it.
Those were
really light.
Ladies, do we know what to expect later on today? I think around 6 we have the battle challenge, but I'm not quite sure what to expect of that.
I don't know because I only did the 10K.
Same here. Last year too, I only do the 10K and I don't do the other 2 races because I'm spent.
Yeah, I'm pretty spent. I try to just go all out in one race.
Yeah, but I know Aaliyah. She would do this race.
Actually, I don't know. I didn't see Aaliyah.
I didn't see her either.
So I don't know.
Probably why I'm on the podium. But
did you guys see Kelly Sullivan at the start line?
No, I didn't see her either.
Although again, you.
But I don't know if they were 8:45. So and I asked Jake. I was like, man, I want to go in the first wave, and you just jump in. And that's why he said in the beginning of the race, this is a very bloated wave. Just because some of us just wanted first touch. I didn't want to get stuck in a bottleneck. That was really what it was for me.
Okay. So there was multiple start times in the pro wave.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There was 8:30, 8:45.
So the positions could change depending on the times we get in.
Positions could change. Yes, absolutely. And that's why I don't know. Like I fought, but I felt like my sense of urgency, especially because in the first half of the race, because I kept hearing you're in first. I felt like I was able to just slow down, and that wasn't a good plan.
You did. I said on the feed, I've never seen you stop and get water, and you stopped and got water at the first station, and you stopped and got water at the next station.
The second station.
We got it all on camera, Viv. We got it on camera.
I need to.
Me and Vivian are close friends, and I hassle her, and she knows I'm going to hassle her on the live feed, so she can. Nobody else has the commentator hassling them at the same time.
Hassle all of them as much as you want.
Yeah, so I'd be interested to see how the next race later on today, the battle challenge, I think it's called, how that affects the if there's you get points for podium being on the podium like you ladies are right now, and if that is like those points goes towards the next race, or if it's just treated as a completely different second race.
I think it's just like a fun race, like another fun race. And then there's times where I know from previous years they let you shoot stuff. You know what I mean? So like
so there's like a mission. I think there's like a mission wave where like you actually have a goal. I mean, I think it's because the 10K is technically the OCR WC qualifier, but I don't think anything else is. I think that's just kind of fun. Or it's similar to like how the Triple Crown did it back over in Broken Arrow. It's just you can do all 3 races.
Mm-hmm.
Are both you ladies going to do this next race later on in the evening?
No, I'm done.
Yeah, we're done. One and done.
You're done? Okay. The top men said the same thing too, so it'll be interesting to see who shows up at that next race. And then, of course, tomorrow morning is just the trail run. I remember Miranda Uber got on the podium last year. She mentioned she stayed for all 3, and she gave us kind of the details about it. But honestly, man, it's so wonderful talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say honestly, I don't think Rich would appreciate us doing like 3 races all together. He's gonna be like,
if you do well in the big one, I don't think he'll matter. I like the other ones, as long as you don't got something big coming up the next weekend.
Exactly. Because then he has to write our training plan. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I'm sure as many races as you do, Vivian. I'm sure Rich is used to it.
I
hope he hears us on the live feed. He's gonna. you imagine coaching Vivian Tran and being like, "What races do you want to do?" All of them.
All of them. There's no.
Yeah, which races do you not want to do?
Oh, right. Well, thank you, Miles.
Well,
I don't know
Jeannie,
if there's anything else that you want.
Nice meeting you.
Nope, that's it, guys. It's wonderful talking to you. It's wonderful meeting you, Jeannie. Congratulations to you ladies again. Thank you, Jason and the OCR Report for producing and putting on this live feed and bringing these really cool local races to our OCR community. This is so cool to see these one-off races that they put a lot of effort into. They're really well put on, really creative, and are doing some things that other races are not doing that we hope to see more in the future. So
Miles,
Thank you.
Miles,
Thank you so much.
Yep.
are you going to? You're about to leave, right?
Yeah, I do need to go here in a little bit. I got a bunch of kids I need to take care of.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and show the preliminary results. You go to take care of what you need to take care of. And just wanted to let you know and let the viewers know that for the battle challenge, we're not going to do live the areas where the cool battle challenge stuff happens. There's just, we've had barely any signal here anyway, so there's like no signal in those cool areas, and we want to see the cool areas. So we're going to do it recorded, and then we'll do a post live show sometime tomorrow, probably. And so look forward to that. I'll put a post out so everybody knows. And Miles, if you need to run, I'm going to throw the preliminary results up on the screen.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I'm glad we got a chance to speak to all these. Oh, wait, so there's been a change in the order. It now has Logan Broadbent in 3rd place and Nicholas Morris in 2nd place.
Look at Corey.
Look at that.
It scrolled down on me.
It scrolled down on you. Yeah, well, here's a change. This got changed up. We didn't see this. I thought that Nicholas Morris was in 3rd. He is in 2nd place. So there you go. 1st place, elite males at WarX, the 10K. They're in Southeast Herman, Ohio. Southeast Ohio.
We're still going to treat this as preliminary because there is, they have to manually look at who completed the obstacles and who didn't and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just leave it at that, preliminary there. And let's scroll down to the women real quick. Chanel in the fastest time for the women, and then was it Jeannie, and then Vivian.
No, we know Vivian, so we know that's incorrect. We saw Vivian come in before Jeannie.
Right.
Unless something happened on one of the obstacles.
Right, but was Jeannie on in the second wave?
No, I believe when we were just talking to them and interviewing them, they said they started in the same wave. I could have misheard that. So like you said,
it's a little hard to understand here. Yep. So look later on for a post, from WarX, potentially from us at some point once the results get finalized. And
yeah, what a
great
great
call
time.
It out, buddy.
Yeah, I think we're ready, man. What a great time, a great race. Thank you for putting this on. Everyone, make sure, follow the Patreon for the OCR report. At the very least, like and subscribe. Feel free to comment, give us criticisms. We're open to all of that. And thank you for joining us.
And I knew it was risky doing live today, and we saw the reason why. So, post live tonight, and most every race we're going forward is going to be OCR wise is going to be post live. DECAs will still be live inside those convention centers and stuff. But thank you all for watching. Miles, thanks so much for sticking around for quite a few hours now. You chatted with the boys and the girls for forever, dude.
Well, you know me personally and level. I'm a chatty Cathy, and I could talk to anyone. I could probably talk to a wall for hours. I love it is our OCR community, right? Like they're just wonderful people that I really enjoy as friends on a personal level, and so I can talk and talk and talk, and I'm so happy to see them be successful and win. And I love our community and our sport.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Noah and Logan sit here and just chat as long as they did. Like, they would have just stayed forever. I mean,
the same conversations we have at the finish line, right? They would have the only difference is it was being recorded. We do that same thing at the finish line, so it was perfect.
Yeah, I had to tell the girls, you got to tell Miles to stop talking because he won't. He knows he needs to go, but he won't stop talking.
Yeah, cut him off. This is fair.
All right, man. Love you, dude.
All right. You too, brother.
Thank you, crowd.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
See you guys.